Happy Saturday, guys. What's going on? Boom. How's everybody doing? Let me fix this. I always hate when it's like I like it like this for some particular I like the circle better. I don't even know if you guys can see the difference when I do that. Let me see. Yes, you can a little bit. You can see kind of it looks almost like a 45. I'm telling my age by saying it looks like a 45. If you know what a 45 is, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't know what a 45 is, it's just someone who's 45 years old. I'm just kidding. Whiskey says, welcome new subscribers. Yes, of which we have some. If you know what a 45 is, who used to take their allowance on a Saturday and run down and go get a 45? Okay. 45s I may have purchased because this is going back a long time ago because 45s kind of fell out of popularity. I definitely remember running down to go buy like Hall and Oates. I remember going and running to buy Michael Jackson and Prince. I remember going to buy Ring My Bell. Okay. Whoever that was, you can ring my bell. I played that song out. And my mother was so aggravated that I was on like the stereo. We had like a main stereo in the living room. And I used to mess up that needle all the time. You know, you have to drop the needle just so. And I would drop the needle and, it would go, ah, and she'd be like, you're going to damage my record player. Girl. And I remember, okay, so that's enough of that. Anyway, we are not going down memory lane with that mess, but yes, once upon a time, I guess singles were on something called a 45. So, and that was like the small size record, and you'd have to put like a little disc in the middle of it until they made them with the small hole. It was girl. Anybody who's young watching this right now, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay. Hey everybody, happy Saturday. Y'all, I was so tired yesterday. Yesterday was a day. Lambo and Porsche have been going through it. Oh, I made an error on the title, which is nothing new. I'm always making an error on the title. And his RV lady, not is RV lady, Sonya. So don't flatter yourself to in case someone out there is thinking that their name was in the title. That was absolutely a mistake. It was, and his RV lady, Sonya. Doesn't that make more sense now? Okay, because sis made a mistake. Exactly, VIP lady. They don't know anything, and that's okay because they had maybe the tail end of cassettes, which probably they saw at somebody's house. But they had CDs and all that other mess. So, Nesto Shackle Shuffle. Well, okay. Let's talk about a couple of things. We talked about this the other day. Let me check the docket real quick since we're here. I don't think anything has changed. Maybe, who knows? God only knows. Far be it from me. Let's see. Let me see if I can get logged in here real quick. Okay, but the security thing is so annoying. Okay. All right, let's see. Yes, when is the next court date? You know when the next court date is, Ali? Are you asking for the people that don't know, or you really don't know? You know the next court date is Monday. Nesto's next court date is Monday, everybody. I'm surprised that y'all would not know that. Yes, when is the next court date? Because I was thinking you were thinking about it today. You know why you're thinking about it today? Because it's Monday. It's Monday, sis. You didn't? Girl, write it. Don't even write it down. Girl, look. Let me pull up Aaliyah's avatar. Aaliyah is young. Sis, you are, girl, your memory should be sharp enough for me, you, and 5 other people. It's Monday, boo-boo, 9:30. Okay, let me see what's going on here. If there's anything we need to know. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Friday, we looked at it already, which was yesterday. If you saw, I did a little recap. Um, Friday, we went and briefly did a drive by the docket, and nothing has changed. Now, there is a attorney conflict that's posted, but I don't know. You know, he's got 2 cases being heard on Monday, right? They're hearing the RICO case, and they're also hearing the sexual assault case. It's 2 different DAs. One is sex crimes. That would be Ernell Winfrey or whomever is standing in place for that particular case. And then we know Will Wooten is for the RICO, right? Will Wooten is financial crimes unit, right? Now I checked, and the attorney conflict notice is only on the RICO, which makes me think it's not Sean, because if Sean had a conflict and he's got 2 cases being heard at the same time, then I think that the conflict would be posted on both files, right? Does that make sense? Since it's only on one docket and there's no document to click on, I can't validate that. So I don't know what's going on. We do have a bougie gang sis who sent me a note and asked me the details, and I told them the particulars, basically public information that everybody knows, which is Fulton County Courthouse, 9:30 in the morning, Judge Eric Dunaway, and 9:30. Tony, oh my God, thank you so much, sis. I appreciate you. Y'all, you must have missed me a little bit, girl. We were in court in Milwaukee. Milwaukee doesn't owe us a thing. Milwaukee, stand up. You guys handled that business for Maxwell Anderson and Sheena Scarborough, as well as the Robinson family. Sheena Scarborough is Sade Robinson's mom. They handled that business. They really did. So that was interesting. I'm glad that we watched that, and it was so perfect. It was 2 weeks. It was full of intrigue, lots of wonderful information. I feel like I walked away from the trial learning something, but I'm also glad to see that family got some justice for the absolute injustice and terror that was done to this young lady and her family and all of the people. It was absolutely awful. I can only imagine how the people of that city felt. And it was just a beautiful thing to hear about people who knew this girl and were concerned about her when she didn't show up. And nobody just was like, well, she didn't show up and I didn't talk to her in a week and I didn't think anything of it. It's so wonderful to know that she had good friends and people who cared about her enough to make phone calls and look for her and know that something was out of whack and that they should make a phone call and do something. So that was just so encouraging to hear, that people noticed her missing right away and made phone calls. So it's so encouraging because we hear so many horrible stories, even though this is a horrific story. But the fact that the people noticed right away is why this guy is going to probably be spending the rest of his life in jail. And they were able to, retrieve all of this video. Sometimes time goes by too much and the video's gone. And they were able to retrieve a lot of video. And because of that, he's done. He's done so. Anyway, Tony, thank you so much, baby. I appreciate you support. I mean, like, so much. I appreciate it. And to the 20 people who just got memberships. What? Husband, TDC, Aaliyah TV. Look at that. VIP Lady, Rosie, Just for Charlene, Kenna 14. If I miss someone, forgive me. Kenna 14, Rainbow, Marilyn, Marina, God Created Black, Florida T-Bird, Scorpion, My Four T's, Sweet Tonic, Trey, KNB Mom, and New York be New York. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. JMM55. Thank you, babe. You guys are spoiling me right out the gate. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Let me drop some coins on our good sis Tony. Thank you, boo. Thank you, boo boo. Yeah, it was an interesting week. And so I missed you guys a lot. Um, but I feel like we still handled business. I mean, we did the best we could, right? We did the best we could. Sis can't be in, so I'm trying to be in more than one place at one time, but I just, sometimes I can only stretch so far. But um wow, 21 memberships. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. And I hope that all of you who got a membership enjoy. I really do try when I do member content to just keep that members. I don't hold back from any of you guys. There's some things that I just talk about in members. I mean, it's not, it just is what it is. There's some things that you guys know, you go to member content and it's member content. But what I'm going to say is this: if you just got a membership, make sure to use and go and check out some of that content because it's not recycled content. Sometimes I do isolate certain things from some videos just to give you that, like that bit to itself. But most of the time when I do a member live, and I'm going to say most of the time, because sometimes I might say, you know what, I'm going to take this 5 minutes and put it out. If somebody wants to watch the whole thing, they can come to members, vice versa, type of thing. But that's that on that. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on that too much. Okay, so there are some phone calls from prison calls we have not done. Specifically, the ones I want to talk about are in the description box tonight. One of which was the day that NESTO found out that he was indicted on 7/20/25. Now, that was 2 calls, and they spent a extraordinary time, extra girl, an extraordinary, let me say it like that, amount of time discussing her generator. We will not be getting into that. That's called homework. And I'm sure you all have listened to it at least once or twice and probably heard some reactions on it. Sis will not be covering that in this. Like, how sometimes the English teacher or your math teacher is like, we're not covering that section. We will not be covering that section because, baby, it was boring as fuck. Okay. And that's nobody's fault other than the boring people who did the phone call, because I don't want to hear about a damn generator. I have a generator at my house, and I'm going to tell you, I don't know how to use it. The person who's in charge for managing the generator knows how to use it, which would be my husband. Okay. I don't know anything about it other than, babe, you think it's time to turn on the generator if we have a power outage? Usually by after about an hour or so, we have a neighbor that as soon as we have a power outage, their generator kicks on. We don't have that generator. Um, so we have to go ahead and get ours ready to go. But usually if the power's been out for an hour, my husband's usually heading outside to go ahead and turn it on. He gives it about an hour. After that, there we go. I don't know anything else about it. Okay. I know he bought it at Harbor Freight. That's it. That's all. Okay. Because if I even go try and look at that, what are you doing? Don't touch that. That's it. So we're not listening to generator talk. You guys know how I feel about Lowe's. You know how I feel about Home Depot. Unless I'm over there looking at double ovens, sub-zero refrigerators, paint, things of that nature, I'm not interested. I don't like those stores. I'm going to be honest. I really, they're a necessary evil, but as far as I'm concerned, like, girl, bye. Um, okay, that's man stuff. I didn't want to be all sexist about it, but you said it, so I'm going to just read your comment. It's man stuff. I don't like that. Now, the DIY stuff, Yes, because I know someone in this chat's gonna be like, "Fran, I love Lowe's, I love Home Depot," and that's good. I do. I love certain aspects, right? Certain things, but some things I'm like, girl, I'm gonna buy. Anywho, let me see. We got some milestones. Sweet Peas, thank you. Just Shar, thank you so much for supporting. Sweet Peas been here for 3 months supporting. Thank you. Just ask Shar. Whoop whoop. Okay. Pavlova. Hey, Bougie and everyone. Oh, I caught alive. Love it. Love to shop 212. Well, love to shop 1212 1212. Okay. A 12, a 12. Is that what you mean? Love to shop a 12, a 12. We were listening. I think my husband got like a he must have called up, like put up a old school like playlist today, because that just reminded me of Bismarck. And so when he says, "Oh, 12, oh, 12, my name is Bismarcky," that just reminded me of that. So that's why I was like, okay, oh, 12, oh, 12. That's what that just reminded me of. Sweet Peas, thank you, babe. Thank you, hun. And just peeking dropped off a membership for a friend too. And guess who got it? Our other friend, Ghost BX. What's up? What's up to our friend in the Bronx, right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I love the paint color cards. Personally, leave it in the stash. I was looking at countertops. So I mean, I do like circulate around if we end up at Lowe's. I was looking for countertops because I want to get serious about getting some countertops. Um, because any of you guys who you guys know, if any of you guys know from when we first bought this house, we still have those same ugly countertops. Baby, I think just changing the countertops it's going to be like, what was I waiting for? Anywho, so I've started kind of looking at some things. So it's just prioritizing. Okay, how it's like, well, what do we want to do first, right? Anyway, okay. You guys are so sweet. Thank you, everybody. All right, let's get into it. I was kind of nervous because I was like, gosh, I didn't know. Okay, one thing I want to talk about real quick, which we're not going to talk about it yet. I don't want to talk too much detail about it just because some of you may have already heard, some of you might not care. But we'll get caught up on some of that stuff tomorrow. That's why I was like, let's do Nesto. Well, as I was talking to myself, I was having a team meeting with me, and I was trying to figure out like what I was going to do, and I said, you know what, self, let's do Nesto. This was the dialogue in my head, that I was going to do Nesto because I wanted to get caught up on some other news stories. But our girl, the awful mother who left her kids, actually got out of jail, not because they dropped the charges or anything like that. Guess who posted bond? Guess who posted bond? As far as I knew, she had a $50,000 cash bond. The lady from Pontiac, Kelly Marie Bryant. You can go to the Kelly Marie Bryant playlist, and everything is there from the beginning all the way to the last hearing. And she posted a bond, which is, yeah, I was so like, what? I actually went to the Michigan website and ordered the bond sheet to see if I can find some information. I don't know when I'm going to get the information. I don't know if it just comes automatic. I didn't see it right away, or maybe I'll get it on Monday, but I ordered the bond sheet to see. Baby, why do you have a public defender? We'll talk about it tomorrow because I don't want to even get all up into it right now. But how is it that you had it was a 50,000 cash bond? Why would someone post a 50K cash bond? Maybe it was a bondsman, I don't know, but I remember them saying 50K. Her welfare fraud case was going to be a personal bond. So they were not going to hold that. Basically, that was going to be personal bond. So in Michigan, she basically would be able to sign herself out on the welfare fraud. But on the abuse, it was supposed to be a 50K cash bond. Why would someone come up with 50K cash and not get her a lawyer? She has 2 public defenders. How is it that why would someone do a bond for you for 50K and you still have that? If you guys have been watching, that one lady, she speaks perfectly fine English, but English is not her first language, okay? And she speaks an absolute run-on sentence. She just goes on, well, Your Honor, and Your Honor, this, that, and the other thing, and we didn't get a form, we didn't get the stipulations, um, Your Honor, I don't think that she intended to do this or that, and there's more to the story. I just got 1,000 pages of discovery, and I'm not ready. I mean, she just goes on and on and on and on and on. Okay, Miss Kirigongo, girl. Anyway, we'll talk about it. You think so? Okay, okay. Bible lady, that avatar. Y'all are tripping with these avatars. Hold on a second. Let me put on the big bubbles so we can see everything that's going on here. Let me check out some of the parade of avatars. If you have recently updated your avatar, make sure to drop a comment so I can see. Some of avatars are just y'all's beautiful faces, like right here, Jay Blake, the lovely, the beautiful, okay? And then some are all kinds of things as we see. Okay, gold, yes. Okay. And then girl, the lovely faces of the beautiful beauties of bougie gang. Okay, and then there's another beautiful bougie gang. Okay, okay, as Dimples, yes, yes. And then we have Sonya. Oh, yes, K Blueberry. What is going on, sis? Okay. Okay. Beyonce's like, look, this is the best of the best. I love this. I love the wig on top of a wig. That's the best one. Um, Hello everybody. Hi Miami lady. What's going on? So yes, we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll get into it. But yes, Kelly Marie Bryant posted bond and still has 2 public defenders. To me, if I were the judge, I would have a stipulation, or not even the judge, but whomever is responsible for declaring that some or approving someone's indigency. If you have resources and support out there that can bail you out, in even if it's $5,000 plus fees, I don't know. I mean, I think there's a huge difference. I just recall, and we might have to go back to that hearing tomorrow, where the judge said it would be a 50K cash bond, but maybe it is with a bondsman. I'm not sure. But she carried her ass happily, dragging that wagon right on out the jail, and with her hair plaited down like it's been in every single hearing. We're gonna check it out. We gonna, girl. Exactly. Get it. Why spend money on bond when you don't have a lawyer? What sense does that make? And you have a lawyer that talks and run on sentences and whines incessantly. Miss Kirigongo is the worst. I don't know. She might be a wonderful attorney, but baby, her presentation is horrible. It's horrible because it's one long sentence in a whine with a very strong accent. Okay. Um you know exactly what I'm talking about. Girl. That was in her lot, girl. Remember when Nesto called Sonya old lady recently? Girl, I'm drinking some Crystal Light, y'all. Okay, let's get into it. So nothing has changed on the docket. Anybody who's in court on Monday, make sure to give us a call. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. If you are on your way to court on Monday, make sure you are following me on Instagram. And by all means, hit the phone button. Just call me. Just be like, hey Fran, it's so and so. Use your YouTube streets name, because if your name is like Joanne Ramirez Rodriguez, I'm not gonna know who you are. So you need to use your YouTube streets name so I know, like, oh, you're so and so from the chat. Okay, good. And you're on your way to court, or you just left court and you want to tell us what happened. Make sure you call us up. Okay. 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 That makes sense. So someone got together 5,000, but okay. So, and that's not going to pay for a lawyer. Let's just be real, right? So our sis right here is saying that there was an article that stated that she had a 10% surety bond, which makes sense because I don't see anybody. Let me see. I did pull up an article, but I didn't even have a chance to read the whole thing yet. After posting $50,000 bond, it had to be. Who put up 50,000? I'm going to be honest. Who put up $50,000 for her? Okay. A 1-2, a 1-2. I bet she took herself right to see she better not. Let me tell you something. If she did, the judge is going to drag her ass right back to court. She has a stipulation to leave those people alone. She called her parents, who are actually the caregivers of the children, and she got drugged for 20 minutes. She lost her phone privileges, and they told her in no uncertain terms is she to contact the victims, and that means the people who are caring for the victims. So if she tries to take her ass over there, she's done. Hey, this is what it is. Hey, boo boo, how are you? Her pimp paid her bond. Okay. I was trying to look her up on Facebook again. Look at us pivoting to Kelly Bryant. Okay, hold on a second. I'm not pivoting, I promise. We're staying on Nesto. I just wanted to see because I saw her father. Hold on. She might have shut her page down when she got home yesterday. Girl, of course not. Good. Let her leave this damn page open. Hold on. Let me show you guys. Girl, she got all her yams out. Hold on. Girl, we saw her page before. She got all her yams out. This was when she was at the food drive. This is what she was posting before. I don't know if that's sir. I have no idea. Let's see. I don't want to click on too much because she had some rather disturbing photos. Sis put on some weight, that's for sure. No tea, no shade. I don't want to go too far because last time I went through her pictures, I don't know when it's going to come up, but she looks very much like herself right there. She had some photos that were a little backdoorish, or what do you call that? Backstage. Yeah, she might have been doing some things on this internet. So you guys know what's going on. Did y'all see that? Hold on, let me see if you guys saw. What's that stuff called? Backpage? Hold on. It's giving a little bit of traffic. Let me say it like this, playing in traffic. You guys know what I'm talking about? It looks like she might be playing with some traffic, right? So I don't know what's going on there, but we'll get more in depth, and I'll make sure to scan through the pictures before, because she had a couple. For what you saw, baby, there was one or two that showed some things that are not permitted on this internet. So I'd rather nah. Um, but as long as she's still got her page open, um, I don't know what's going on here. Let's see what it says. Judging from her performance on the judging not even her performance, judging from her overall demeanor while she was in court, it's not giving that the elevator is going all the way up to the top. Um she's stopping like maybe right above, like maybe she's made it to the first floor, I'm not sure. Um oh, this weekend, really? Okay. I wonder on the basis of what? It's on the docket. Oh, let's go look. Somebody's going to be like, Nesto reaction starts at 45 minutes and 22 seconds. Okay, let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Let's check the docket, guys. Is it the Combs? Combs filed another. I'm shocked. They file like 4 pieces of paper a day. Um can I see it? Let's see. Letter by Miss Doe as Sean Combs addresses Judge Arun opposing. Can we go over the docket on tomorrow? Let me see. Mr. Combs is unable to make calls from MDC. This, of course, I'm going for like the salacious stuff. Mr. Combs is unable to make calls from MDC, which has prevented him from. Do you guys want to see the docket? Hold on. Like, Fran, we can't see that. That's small. Hold on. Is that better? Okay, that's good. That's better, right? Let me find my page back. Okay. So here's the mistrial right here, but I don't think I can see it. Let me log in. Well, okay, I guess I can. Are we reading this? Like, do you guys want me to actually read? Um, okay, I do have the mistrial document. Uh, do you guys want me to get into that? Because of Brianna chick, the one who said he hung her. Oh, yes. The friend. The friend. Mm, girl. Do you guys want to hear about it? Well, I'll give you a little synopsis. This is it right here. The defense respectfully submits a letter in support of renewed motion for mistrial. I'm sure Judge Subramanian is going to be like, denied. When the introduction of perjured testimony results, oh, because she lied. Okay, well, that's a good reason. They feel like okay, that's a good reason though. Do you guys not agree that that's a good reason? Maybe tomorrow stay on Nesta. Okay. All right, we'll get into it. I have it all right here at 6 pages. It'll be okay. We'll get into it. Okay. Let's hold on this, okay? Sis got it though. I have the docket. Okay. All right, so what's on the we have a lot to talk about tomorrow, so you guys better get your coffee and things and be I'm gonna try and be up. Oh God, pickleball at 10 o'clock. Um pickleball at 10 o'clock. I want to do it early. Um we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I do have pickleball at 10 o'clock, guys. So just so you know. If it's not super early, then it's gonna be by the time I get home from pickleball. Let's see. Okay. That's a good reason though for mistrial. I'm not I mean that's not a surprise. They're doing their job. They have to, right? So makes sense. All right, let's get to what we were supposed to get to. What we are here to talk about, what's in the title of the video and all of the things. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let me go to this tab. Let's talk about this video first. We didn't talk about this video. This video posted, if you can believe it, 2 weeks ago, and we didn't talk about it right away. You know why? Because I don't know. I can't even remember at this point why we didn't talk about it right away, but we did not. I think I was a little turned off by the lots of talk of the generator, and I just was like, okay, I guess there were other things to talk about at the time, and maybe there were some other videos that had came out, so we just kind of were going moving right along. Anyway, I do want to talk about call number 1 because he sounds very much deflated, very much like, I don't know, you guys be the judge. It's been 2 weeks ago since this came out. It's been a few weeks since this happened. Looking on my calendar, let's see, the 20th was a Tuesday. That was about 2.5 weeks ago. So it's been about 2.5 weeks since he got indicted on all of those sexual assault charges. And so basically, no matter what he was saying, freedom's coming soon. Guess what? A whole nother case came sooner than freedom. Okay. So I don't know how soon he thinks freedom is coming, but baby, a whole nother case came sooner than freedom. All right. So let's talk about it. Let's hear what his reaction was at the time. Um, it's giving very stale, and Sonya is giving very much like she must have gotten some meds or something. She seems a little crazy. The YouTube channel we love to watch. All the information is in the description box if you want to watch any of what we're talking about uninterrupted. That's it. That's all.
The 2 calls in this video are from yesterday, May 20th, 2025. As you may know, NESTO was indicted on serious SA charges on this same day. He doesn't speak about it too much, but they instead talk about and troubleshoot Sonya's generator. Take a listen.
Hello?
Hello.
How are you today?
How are you today?
What do you say now?
How are you today? Sound like you echoing.
How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Like, cool, bring it on. Where my street at? Okay. Yeah. How your knees doing?
Oh, they hanging in there some kind of way. Yeah.
It's like, what's so
Why you
funny,
walk
dummy?
here?
Yeah, I know it. I know it. It's okay.
She's so inappropriate, and she acts like she's known this man for 25 years. And by all accounts, I'm going to just say maybe she has. I don't know who she knows and how long she has known this man, but she's very insensitive. But let's, you know what I mean? Like, okay, that's his boo thing. So if he likes it, I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Why you walk here?
Yeah, I know it. I know it. It's okay. Yeah.
Why you got the hold on. Why?
What do you say?
I had to turn. Wide turn. I had to make a wide turn. So yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. I'm like a half a block from the house. I had to go to Home Depot and get my my outlet for my plug-in.
Hey, August lady.
Because I had I bought the wrong one, so I had to take it back. Hold on, stupid. Don't come out here. Yeah. I gotta come here.
Okay. Okay.
Hold on. Let me see. Oh,
Pebble Lane says,
I'm
I
gonna
just
go
don't
into
like
this driveway
Sonya.
without getting this hole. And this fire hydrant. Look, and this fire hydrant. Okay. And my car. I'm in the driveway. What time is it? 9:30? Yeah, I had to come in early to bring this stuff so we could finish. So my thing kept coming up. I gotta take this in. I had to call a dealership today.
Your work kept coming up?
No, because I told you, my generator.
Oh,
He
you
acted
acting up?
stupid. Yeah, I'm like, how is this a brand new vehicle and generator? Oh, it could be just a line, something in the line. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I want to see the inspection sheet. They're about we think we threw it away because we usually. I'm like, nah, I just bought the thing not even 10 days ago. So y'all throwing stuff away?
Wow.
Yeah, because that was one of the things they was like when I bought the warranty. The warranty was like $4,000, right? But they were saying, well, you want to get it now so you don't have to get it. Because if you wait, I was like, I'll get the warranty in 2 months. Because I was, you spend a lot of money, right? So I was just like, I can get it
She was going to buy in 2 months because sis broke.
in 2 months, whatever. But they were like, well, then you have to get an inspection, and that's $1,000. So what you're saying is the vehicle has been inspected by you saying it, right?
No, what they're saying is that before it leaves their showroom, they're certifying that the thing is in a particular condition. If you leave and come back, then it needs to be inspected and they're going to warranty it based on how it comes in. Okay? That's why you should buy a warranty when you purchase at that moment, because they're not, if something happens in between you bringing it in, they're not going to make repairs on the stuff that they can't validate. So you can buy a warranty now, and if you buy a warranty later, they're going to inspect the car. Now, is the car going to be perfect? It might, but they're also going to charge you $1,000. So these dealerships have learned how to make money, and at the end of the day, they've got their rules, even though the rules might not make sense, and maybe some dealerships can say, you know what, I'm going to waive that, we'll just go ahead and sell you the warranty. But at the end of the day, the warranty company, which is what, an insurance company, they're going to want, they don't want to have to warranty something and then you're filing a claim right after. Or they might say, we'll take your business, but you're not going to be able to file a claim for 60 days, 90 days, or whatever. I don't know. Not my problem. I just know that if I'm buying a brand new car, I'm buying a warranty before I come up off of that lot, the extended warranty. Why not?
So that's why I was like, I need to see the inspection. And they sitting there trying
Girl,
to
it turns
find.
out it was user error. She's a big dummy. She didn't even read the instructions or go watch the video. They needed to have her in like a half day class. Okay. They need to have her in a half day training class. Okay.
I don't think we got it.
Why buy a warranty on a brand new vehicle? Well, there's going to be the manufacturer's warranty, but you can also get the extended warranty. For me, when I've purchased new vehicles and I bought the extended warranty, now I don't know about an RV, but extended warranty for me gave me a certain type of rental car. It extended the coverage on like the engine and the powertrain and the transmission. I bought like specifically one car I remember, and it came in so handy that, I mean, until I actually sold that car, and I probably never should have sold that car, anytime I went to the dealership, it was like everything was covered. Oh, that's covered under warranty. And we're sending Enterprise over. They're coming to pick you up and you have a car. I didn't have to wait for a loaner. They didn't drop me off at work. I had a car at my disposal. It made it easier for me. People don't have to buy extended warranties. I recommend it if you've got the coin to pay for it, because if you're someone who heavily relies on your vehicle, which most people do, or you don't have an extra car, who wants to have to, deal with all of that? Extended warranties just gives you kind of like, um, it just gives you peace of mind. I'm going to say that.
People shit. What you do for dinner? Same old slop.
No,
What did you do for dinner? Same old slop. She's a bitch. I'm sorry. After all this time, girl, I'm sorry.
today I eat bread today, bread and water today.
So do you say do they give y'all jelly ever, or just butter or something?
They give a jelly. Yeah, I just saved that.
So do you make like jelly sandwiches?
Yeah.
That's what I used to do. I used to just eat the jelly and the bread. But I wasn't in like county. Like, oh my God.
I can't imagine that Cobb County is only serving bread and water. I don't know if that's part of his fast, but for someone who seems to have kidney problems or whatever the hell he got going on, if he's got kidney problems because he's diabetic, which he never said he's diabetic, but I don't know what this man has going on. I would imagine that he needs to be eating more than bread and water. I just find it hard to believe that they're just serving them bread and water like he's the fucking Count of Monte Cristo. Like, this is absolute, like, it's insane. They don't even give you like hot dogs and beans and rice. They're giving you bread and water. Come on now. That doesn't even make sense.
I was only in county for like 3 days. Yeah. I had to shit me right the hell out of it.
What happened to, the food here's good. They have good portions. Do we recall when he first got to Cobb County and everything was lovely? They had good portions. The food was good. He likes it better. That's why I mess with the crackers. Am I lying, guys? He had sausage over there, Searle, milks. Come on now. He needs to stop lying. Oh, that was when he was in the honor dorm? Oh, now he's in the weirdo dorm.
Corporal for the county. I was like, get me on the first thing out of here. He was like, all
That's
right.
his medical condition scheming.
Because nobody want to be in fucking county. That shit is crazy. That shit is like, what's so crazy about it?
I'll have to do a short.
It's inhumane.
I'll have to find a short. I'm sure, I feel like I did it before when he said good portions, the food's good. That's why I mess with the crackers. Girl, idiot.
And they always try to say, no, but half the people in there are fucking innocent. So why would you have innocent, even if you're guilty, you shouldn't be in inhumane conditions. Like, that's dumb. You know? They don't even put dogs that bite people in those type of conditions.
Okay.
He's like, I'm not saying a word.
I was watching some sad video of these in Africa. They had all these black slaves. They were all like, they looked like they were all covered in baby powder because they were like all dusty looking. And I'm like, what part of Africa is this? You know, and it was black people that enslaved them. It was black people that were beating them and stuff. Yes, this was.
What year was this? Right now?
Now, this is now. This video was now. It wasn't no old video. I saw it today, and it was like this week.
Dang.
This woman has,
some places have.
This woman doesn't seem to understand because, she doesn't have a good education. She seems to think that slavery just had something to do with racism. Slavery is an economic system where one system of government or one country, one whoever decides to dominate on people perceived weaker and use them for free labor. I mean, that's really all it is. They don't see them as equal. They take over and they use them for free labor. They have them do what they want them to do against their will. I guess she thinks that slavery only existed in America and it was some sort of construct that happened exclusively over here for racism. They used free labor because they wanted to build a new country and didn't want to do it themselves. Okay. So they stole people and made people and coerced people and did all kinds of things and held them hostage and use them. Like, I don't know what she thinks that slavery is. She's absolutely insane. And it could have something to do with racism, but at the end of the day, it's not something exclusive to the United States. Like, she's so dumb.
Have slavery still. Then they had one part of Africa where they were trying to kill all of these little boys. They were going to put them in front of a fire. And
I don't think she listens to any type of international news. I don't think she understands anything. She talks all this stuff about what goes on here, and she has no idea what's going on in the actual world.
Squad because they were gang members. But they didn't say specifically what they were out doing, you know? They were just doing little stuff.
NESTO really doesn't want to hear anything about that.
Like brutal things. They were all crying, of course. So they were like 15, 16 years old.
She's so dumb.
You know? It's just crazy. Like, the biggest thing I've been seeing a lot of where these females always...
Wait, let's talk about this. Ms. Fine says Sonya can lose her SSI and Medicaid benefits because an RV counts toward your asset limit. If she's reported, she will be investigated. Interesting. So even if it's an asset. So it's like if she had a house. Is that what you're saying? So, well, it's not an asset like a house, but maybe it would be an expensive asset like a car. And since it's worth more than a vehicle, interesting. Her asset limit. So whatever you have before you're on SSI is what you have, because she might not be on SSI. Isn't she on SSD? I wonder if it's SSD, whatever your assets were before she became disabled, because she wants to say she's retired, but I think she's on SS because she is disabled because of her stomach situation. NESTO is counting the stitches. Girl, isn't that awful? So I know some of you guys think she's renting. Some of you guys think she's in a used one. Some of you guys think what was it? I need to go to the poll that we had. Some of you guys are convinced she's renting. Some of you guys are convinced it's used. Some of you guys, I forgot what the other one is. SSI considers it an asset because she's paying for it. Okay. So they would make her sell it. Wow. Even if that's your residence, even if that's where you're choosing to live outside. So maybe they see that as like a leisure vehicle or something, like not like because if you're paying, let's just say in theory, you're paying the same amount you would pay for an apartment. Why would that be seen differently paying for housing costs like that? Wouldn't that just be another housing cost? So maybe it would make more sense for her to rent, to your point, Aaliyah, and to whomever else thinks she's renting. Maybe it would make more sense for her to rent because it wouldn't be considered an asset. If she were purchasing it and she has a bill of sale and she took out a loan, right? In theory, we all know, some of us don't, but I'm not going to argue that point. When you purchase something, even though you are paying a car note, you have ownership of the item. The bank is the lien holder, correct? Right? Therefore it would be an asset. It's not an asset if you're renting. So to the point of the people who say she's renting, I can see your point now where it would make sense for her to rent, right? Because then therefore it's not hers and it's not considered her asset. It's just a monthly expense because she's renting. Is that what you guys are thinking? Because I never thought about it that way, but that would make sense if she were renting or leasing, right? In order to even claim it as a permanent residency, she needs to rent it from a campground permanently. Okay, because then it would be fixed, it would be rent. Okay. That's per the IRS. She's setting herself up for trouble, especially broadcasting it on the internet because baby, we know how that goes. Okay. SSI and SSD are state. SSR is federal. Hi, Dr. Pat. How are you, boo? They do review 6 to 12 months. And if by any chance someone from SS is viewing these videos, she will pay back. Aaliyah TV said that as well. It's in who's in Tomas's name. Interest, she's ghetto like that to use her kids' credit. And if you're in this chat and you're using your kids' credit, I don't know, and I'm not talking to you, okay? And that might be ghetto, okay? But I don't know, so don't put it in the chat. We don't want to know. Don't tell us your business, please, okay? Sonya is ghetto, period. All right. We'll look at what you can liquidate. Okay. So she's homeless. Guys, why did one of you guys sent me a person? What is her name? Girl, this lady is dingy as I don't know what. No offense to this lady if you're in the bushes, but baby, you are dingy as I don't know what. Somebody sent me a lady who lives in her girl, she lives in her Cadillac. Whoever sent me this, I am mad at you because I have been binge watching her. She's homeless. She went to the clinic the other day and she said, "I live in my car. I live in my car." Hold on. I got to find it. I subscribed to her channel. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to just Do you guys know who I'm talking about? The lady that lives in her Cadillac? And she's got an accent. She lives, I think she's like somewhere in Las Vegas, right? No, she's in Utah. And she went to the clinic and found out she had high blood pressure. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? She is a hoot. I guess she was living in I think she was living in a RV. No, she was living in her SUV in New York. And I guess for whatever reason, she decided to leave New York. And I'm not sure what happened and how she ended up in her car, but now she stays in her car. Some people are living in tents in their vehicles. Yes, I'm watching. One of you guys just sent me this lady, okay? And she is hilarious. And you just started watching her. What is her name? I can't think of it. Let me look at my history. I'll find it. You guys need to start watching for homework so we can talk about it a little bit. We might have to do that over on Love Lies and Lace Fronts because we're not going to do that over here. we're not doing that over here. Hold on a second. Okay, I see what you're saying. So someone else has some different information. I've just got a yes, if you are receiving SSDI disability insurance in Florida, you are allowed to have assets. If you're in Florida. So I wonder, let's say if she's not living in Florida, what if she's in Georgia? What if her address is Georgia? But maybe when she got approved for her disability, she was in Florida. Like, okay, talk to me here. when Sonya went to Georgia and she came to visit NESTO, she told us that she had gotten approved for her SSD, right? You say she has Georgia residency, so Georgia would be to play. If she was in Florida, it might be a different story, but if she's in Georgia, then there's different rules that apply. Okay. We don't know what this lady's doing. She might be on the run from damn Ohio. Okay. Who knows the lady that I'm talking about? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Girl, it's a whole mess. I thought about Sonya when I was watching this video and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, why am I watching this? This lady is Looney Tunes. Of course I'm not gonna find you. It's probably I'll have to find it. Of course, I'm already looking back in my history from I'm sure it's gonna pop up. I'll find it. I think okay. Is it Caddy Lady? Is that her name? Girl, she got locked out of her car. That lady is funny to me, okay? The Caddy Lady must backlight. Is she is that what it's called, Caddy Lady? But she lived in an SUV, right? Hold on. The Caddy Lady. I don't think that's the name of her car though. Her channel, is it? No. But she says like living in my Cadillac or something. I live in my Cadillac. I'm not going to find it. If you guys find let me know. I'm sure it's going to be on my main page. Now I'm sitting here talking about it. But I don't want to waste time trying to find it right now. It was Wanderlust. That's her right there. Yes, Wanderlust. Yes. Y'all, you got to, if you are not following her, follow her so we can talk about it. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to find her. All right. I'll find it. Oh, there she is. Girl. Y'all, just wait. You guys are going to die laughing because, girl, look at her making like breakfast in the back seat of her car. Girl, when you see this, you guys are going to scream. Y'all are going to scream when you see this. Hold on. Let me give you a little snippet.
Problem with my car seat. Yeah. Ah. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more great videos. Thank you. Problem with my car seat.
Future Sonya. Y'all. This lady is doing everything in her car. Girl, look at this. Look at this, girl.
Sweet potato on the side. Oh my god, this lady car is so loud.
Girl, she's got like a Blackstone in the back seat of her car. Okay, look at this. Sonya's sitting up there telling NESTO she can't find food, but this lady is over here doing damn hibachi. Okay,
where there is a will, there is a way. Checking the chicken. Oh, check this out. Look at that.
and it looks good too, girl.
Oh yeah.
Give me a piece of bread, girl. She got a whole Blackstone. Girl, a full meal, no carbs. Okay. Sis is over there carb free. Sonya, hit the like button. Don't say we didn't learn you nothing. Okay. Look at ma'am. She doesn't even have an RV. Look what's going on here. Sis is cooking her ass off. Okay.
May look so delicious.
She made a nice in her car. She doesn't even have the car door open. Look at this. She got a picnic basket. She got an apple barbecue sauce. Baby, she doesn't even have the car open. Whoever sent me this channel, I hollered. I watched like 3. You already subscribed. Y'all, we'll have to do a full walkthrough over on Love Lies and Lace Fronts, because baby, this lady is a hoot. She is funny as I don't know what, and she is living in her car by choice. But girl, she was so happy. She went to the free clinic and she said, and they have everything for you. And I mean, they give you a meal, they give you a breakfast, they give you a day lunch. You can have your dinner, you could take a shower, and you go see the doctor for free. So she found a free clinic because she's living in her car. She goes, technically, I am homeless. I don't have an address. I don't know if there's some mental illness going on. Sis is quite eccentric. I'm going to say it like that. Ma'am is giving eccentric. Okay.
Because
It's a mess.
believe it or not, I'm not full. I still feel like
Girl, you ate all them chicken strips?
I could eat something more.
It's the camera angles for me.
I'm gonna add some Italian dressing.
Girl, she goes in. Sis does not miss a meal. She got her bed in her car. Sonya, you sitting up there starving all day talking to Nesto, and baby, a mess. Sis just had
wanna hear some-
girl, why was she in the Walmart parking lot looking, people watching, just like Sonya? Sonya, this is you next. Girl, look, she's at Walmart. Sunroof open. Ah! The inverter is How did she have an inverter in her Cadillac? And Sonya has an RV with a bathroom, a damn kitchenette, a big ass refrigerator. She got a damn restaurant sized table and can't even cook a meal. This chick is over here doing damn hibachi over on a damn portable ass Blackstone. Girl, this lady, and she's girl, sunroof open.
Like I just keep moving. I cannot sit in one spot for too long. I have guys
like
broke up with me,
Sonya.
said I was too active. He was lazy anyway. I think he was lazy. Yeah, I'm going.
She goes to Planet Fitness to go take a shower. Look, girl, look at Walmart in the background. Hold on.
Into Walmart. I feel like some dessert. I'm gonna get me some ice cream. Yippee! Ice cream, baby.
Girl, look how she does this whole thing.
Yeah.
Why didn't she just go out from the back?
I'm stuck. Oh my god, I'm kind of stuck. Shit. Oh, come and see me doing this. Okay, I made it over here. It's a trick to the madness how to get over from here, but I did it the wrong way. Got one of those Walmart cheap ice cream.
Her edits are hilarious.
I like Oz and Das.
She likes Haagen Dazs.
Yeah. I don't know why I picked this up.
Doesn't Sonya like vanilla ice cream? You want some ice cream now?
Oz and Das is a lot better.
Haagen Dazs.
This tastes like powdered milk.
Mm.
Oh God. Good morning, everyone. Jeez.
Okay. Let's not park here. I just wanted you to know. Thank you to the person who sent me this lady's channel. I love her channel already. And I'm subscribed too, but I didn't set it to all so I can always be notified. This was the episode that I watched. Okay. This was the episode I watched. Let me show you. This one, when she went to the free clinic. Sonya, this is the one that you want to watch because didn't someone in the chat said that she locked herself out the car. I'm just like, my God. This is the one that I watched. My solo journey turned dangerous, my blood pressure. So she starts off the video with, oh my God, I'm sick. Look at this.
All right, so I'm going to the hospital.
Called like the homeless
she's
so they can offer you, like,
she's a hoot.
care. Would you?
I was a walking dead person out there and didn't even know it. Back in New York. And that's been 6 months. So I try to be consistent on my checkups.
So she went to the doctor's office. She didn't have insurance. They sent her to a free clinic for homeless people.
Homeless. So I said yes. I mean, yeah, so asked me for my
she is getting her fill.
I told her I don't have one at this time. So she said, so you are homeless. So I said yes. I mean, yeah, so technically I am homeless and I'm not, you know what I mean? Because, I still got a shelter over my head living in the car. So technically I'm not homeless. But living in the car you do not have an address. So basically you are homeless, but you're not. I don't know how that works, but whatever. So anyway, she sent me over here. She said, because I think you should go to the other one because you don't have to pay a fee. It's totally free. I'm like, okay, because over there you have to pay $40 for registration and to see the doctor. Over here it's totally free. You don't have to pay nothing to see the doctor. So now I'm over here and it's only the homeless over here. I mean, when I said the homeless. Yeah. So, yeah.
But she took her ass up in there.
I'm in my car. I came back to my car because I couldn't stand out there. Some of them are mentally challenged. There was a fight earlier out there. Two homeless guys fighting, two mentally homeless guys. They were fighting, cussing a bunch of heifer and almost punch each other in the face. So I came back to my car. Yeah.
So you'll fill out all this information.
Girl. Anyway, she finally gets into the doctor, and guess what? Wait, look at her blood pressure.
Dead person out there and didn't even know it.
This isn't funny, but her blood pressure was 179/121, which that wasn't even the worst blood pressure. The next day, she gets up. They gave her some medicine. She takes her medicine. She got a blood pressure cuff. She takes her blood pressure again. Baby, it's 199 over something. It was like 199 over something else. Girl, she went right back to the emergency room. Look at this. 199 over 119. Baby, she ran. She had a fit. She was like, oh my God. She's like 199 over 119, which that's concerning, no doubt. But I think she has anxiety too.
Where's my other hat? Where is it? Oh, here. I can't.
This maneuver from the back seat to the front seat is killing me. Now she's mad at her chair.
Come on.
This is really, so to your point, this is some stressful ass living. Okay. It's very much stressful living. So anyway, let's get back over here, but you guys have the channel now. It's Wanderlust. Let me drop this link for you. Do not even buy, don't tell her we sent her. I mean, don't, you know what I'm saying? Like quietly view. Okay. You guys know how to do things. Just be quiet, keep it cute. Let me just say like that. Keep it cute. Okay. Sis living in her car. She'll be grateful that we ran up her views. Okay, go run up her views because sis is entertaining as I don't know what. Okay. All right. Let's get back to this ridiculousness. Okay, but that's just a little taste of what Sonya. It doesn't she remind you of Karen Huger? She does. Girl, stop it. She's giving Karen Huger once Ray passes because you think Ray's gonna leave all his money to the girls, to his responsible daughters. Okay. This mobile living is getting. Did we see her do? She had a Blackstone. That wasn't just a griddle. She had a Blackstone. She had a baby Blackstone that you could plug in. She's getting ready to light that car on fire. It's one thing she didn't even have. Look, I could getting a picnic table, open your car door and set the table up and grill out outside. You know what I'm saying? It's we've even seen, was it Nomi from Nomadic inverted excuse me, girl. What is her name? Damn introverted uh nomadic introvert, and she sits there with the damn little mini Instapot and makes her rice and tuna concoctions, or the rice and tuna and rice and chicken and kimchi and all the mess that she makes. Girl, all that cooking in your car, baby, that is so dangerous. But do you, boo? Yes, nomadic introvert, baby. I was just like, what? Okay.
Try to keep the father away. And then they were trying to raise these.
You know what? This call got on my nerves. I just want to hear him talk about the little bit that he talks about the new case, and that's it. That's all. I'm gonna be honest.
I want to say that whole scenario.
Okay, that's what I want.
Yeah, that whole scenario. Right. Tick tick. I reached out to
I get it.
the lawyer today. Yeah, I reached out to the lawyer today. But yeah.
This weirdo chick has a brand new RV, allegedly, whether it's brand new rented, brand new leased, brand new owned, whatever. Allegedly, she has a brand spanking new RV, according to her. She won't use the toilet. She doesn't use the kitchen. It just says she's on the floor. Okay. I like Nomi too, but Nomi cooks in her car and it's dangerous. But she says she's fine. Nomi will tell you in a minute, y'all don't worry about me. I got it and I'm good. I don't even worry about that lady. That lady is fine. She's military trained. I think, you know what I'm saying? If something, God forbid, were to happen, I know she knows how to handle herself. Plus, sis is doing very well. So she's not living in her car due to finances. Nomi is living in her car because that's how she wants to live. You know what I mean? She wants to be here, there, and everywhere. She doesn't want to be tied. She wants to live minimal. So that's a whole nother situation, right? It's giving something, right? It is giving there's something going on. But she's obviously quite intelligent, but she doesn't, she wants to be out there on her own. She wants to be out here on her own. That's it. That's all. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. Yeah. But she's functional enough that she is probably no worse off than any of us for the most part. We're just not filming our idiosyncrasies and posting them to the internet. However, there are some people who are on this internet who are completely lost. They're completely just bananas. Wanderlust, sis is entertaining AF, and I've subscribed and I've set my notifications to all because quirky people are interesting to me. Maybe. Yes. Maybe. Yes. I think, I don't know what all her situation. If you're talking about Nomi, I agree. Yes.
Okay, okay, so yeah.
Lambo
All right, that's
passing
just
Porsche
crazy.
again. Hold on a second, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, all you got to do is put on your thinking cap. Think of every little thing.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
I know. Like I know.
I'm good. I'm good.
Like I know. Right.
Yeah.
I know. That I know. That I know.
Yeah.
That I know. Don't be like Tory Lanez. You see him, what he's going through? Because he didn't want that girl to go to jail, so he figured he wasn't going to say anything because she the one that shot Megan. But he wasn't going to say anything, and then they turned around and pointed and said he was the one that shot the girl, and him saying, I didn't want to see her going to jail. Fuck that. Tell the truth. You know, if he shouldn't have been shooting. You know, it ain't about protecting anybody. Save yourself. Save yourself. Tell the truth. If you weren't the one shooting,
Okay.
save yourself.
Let's get back on the generator.
Yeah.
let's get back on the generator. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell the generator. I gotta have a what do you call them people? Them roadside people to come and look at it or else I gotta drive a good.
You gonna have to drive because them folks don't come.
Yeah. So
They don't come.
that's right. That's crazy. I gotta spend $300 in gas to see y'all look at this shit.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say to you.
I mean, it ain't like what you was spending, because you was spending $700 to fill up. So that's crazy.
Not that. No, I'm talking about how that thing work with the generator. How the folks had that shit ready for you. But
they
anyway,
were supposed to. But they on some bull. Come on, just bring it in. We'll look at it. Just act like I'm local.
Yeah. Well, don't
I
worry.
drove 6 hours to get that. Like, what do you?
Well, season's
I'm
about
like,
over with,
whatever.
but the season's about over with. It is season about over with. Season's about over with. That's what I do know and believe. Yes. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The season's about over with.
yes, it sure is. It sure is. It sure is. Season about.
She's stupid. Okay. I see someone saying she's telling Nesto to save himself. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to go save the dogs because the girl they're arguing. Okay. Sonya is telling Nesto, remember. Go ahead and remember everything. Don't, you know what I mean? Basically, if according to her, he's protecting anybody or he's not telling everything or he's holding back information that he needs to tell everything and not protect anyone. And okay, girl, at the end of the day, this is the deal. Whoever comes through first gets the damn deals. Okay. Shirley is seen as a victim. It doesn't matter what he says about Shirley at this point. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. We don't know what Shirley knew. Okay. We don't know what Shirley knew. We don't know what Shirley didn't know. But guess what? And we've seen it. Hey, boo boo, how are you, hon? We've seen it with Diddy. There are people who turned a blind eye and there are people who participated. And guess what? If you cooperate with the government, guess what you get? Immunity. Did we not see that in YSL? Did Shannon Stillwell, damn Jackson, did he not have possession of a firearm as a felon and was accused of some sort of shooting, maybe a murder? And who gave him that gun? The girl, the stripper girl that he lived with. Well, I forgot what her name was, Alexander. He got the gun from the girl. And what did she had limited immunity. She had some immunity as it pertained to, I guess, mishandling her gun, allowing him to take it, maybe not reporting that it had been used or that he took it, or she said she did not give it to him. It was her gun. She claims her story is she didn't give it to him. He used her gun, had possession of her gun. It was her gun. Okay. She had immunity. She had a lawyer. Shirley, I'm sure, has a lawyer. And whatever she turned a blind eye to, whatever she knows, whatever she didn't know, Ain't nobody have to worry about Shirley. So this is my point. Sonya trying to encourage him to remember things and say things. Bitch, it's too late. Erica King already took 5011 felonies. She's already admitted to everything. Shirley is being seen as a victim. I don't think there's anything that's going to change that. There's nothing that's going to change that. She's already flipped on Nesto. Everything that they need to know about Shirley and Nesto's relationship, baby, Shirley already told them. Shirley is being seen as a victim. Shirley is 70, and they are seeing her as a victim. They see you as taking advantage of this woman who has a very nice job, a wonderful career, and is high fucking profile boss lady that you should have had nothing to do with. And they, according to the state, my opinion is that they think that you were preying upon her and trying to appeal to a part of her that maybe she was looking for a partner in life, and you somehow convinced her that you were it, and you deceived her. They're not seeing Shirley as guilty. They're seeing her as a victim. It's too late to sit around and try and talk about this, that, and the third, because everybody else already has their deals. Okay? Some people are victims, just like, okay, hello, let's compare to Diddy for a second. Who's a victim? Cassie. Cassie's a victim. Who's a victim? Jane Doe. They see her as a victim, right? Who else is a victim? Any number of other people, right? Mia, they see Mia as a victim. Are there people who went and picked up drugs and set up prostitutes? Yup. They sure did. And guess what? They're either a victim or they're cooperating. They have immunity. They're not trying to get everybody, Nesto. They're trying to get you. They're trying to get you. Okay? They don't care about everybody else. They want you.
Right over with. Yep.
No, it's all good. It's all good. No
Yeah, it
complaints.
sure is. Yeah, it sure is.
Stupid all he wants. They're not looking for Shirley.
All right, well, yeah, if you go ahead on and do your
Shirley
thing.
hadn't been running around scamming since she was 20 years old. Nesto has. You know what I mean? Think about it. You know what I'm saying? If Shirley were some sort of Reina de la Sur, she was some undercover heron queen. Okay. We'd be talking about something different, but that's not Shirley. Shirley is a woman who fell in love with a con man who she probably was too embarrassed to scrub from her life every single chance she could. She was probably just too embarrassed. Once she realized who this bum was, she probably felt like it was too late, and she just dealt with it. That's what I think.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate everything. Yeah, keep your head up, keep your spirit up. It ain't gonna be long.
Right.
Boy, stop.
Right.
Ain't gonna be
That's the upside. It ain't gonna be long. It ain't gonna be long. Right.
All right, well, you have a great night, and pay attention to what you're doing so you won't knock no mirror off.
At this point, yeah, it doesn't even matter what Shirley knew, what she didn't knew. Well, it matters from the sense that she has information, but they're not coming for her. I think they just see her as collateral damage, that maybe even if she did turn a blind eye, they're not holding her responsible for that because they see her as a victim of his. So maybe she had to turn up. She might say she was scared. She might have thought he was going to kill her. We don't know what she's going to say if she had to get on the stand, right? She might have said, yeah, I turned a blind eye because I was afraid. You know, I had isolated myself from my daughter and my friends and this, that, and the other thing. And I wasn't really sure who to trust. And they're going to park on the fact that this is a lady, even though she's very attractive. It's not, you know what I mean? It's nothing new to look amazing in 70, but they're going to park on that she's 70 years old. And he tried to take advantage of her, as they should. She's a single woman who wanted a companion. She fell in love with a man, and he is a fucking criminal. And they could very well say she was convinced that he was going to harm her. And she turned a blind eye because she was afraid to do or say anything. But she knew he had criminal ways, and she was hoping that he would do better, and he never did. And it was one disappointment after the other. But after he isolated her from her people and her friends and things like that, she was ashamed and embarrassed. That's going to be the story. You say, I don't trust Tight Sue. He may drag SS in there and badger her because of Boneytail. Well, he could. She's already on the state's witness list, so they can cross-examine her, and they could call her to be a witness for the defense, but I don't know where that's going to get him. But they could. But if he badgers her, I don't think they're going to let him do that. This is what I know, though. This is what I think. Let me say it like that. To your point, think about dragging someone in who may know some things. It's one thing for the government to ask her questions and be very specific about what they're asking. If they want to sit there and ask what Shirley really thought and what she thinks, and was he a good husband, and they want to try to badger her to give some sort of character reference because this guy thinks he was a good husband, baby, they're going to open up the door to his character flaws, which they already did file a motion to submit intrinsic evidence, which goes into his history and maybe even to some of his character. It will backfire. It'll backfire right on him. That whole scenario of Sonya saying, it's your character. It's your character. I know your character. A man of character. Now, there's plenty of men who cheat, and just because you cheat doesn't make you a criminal. But at the end of the day, you think Shirley's going to get up there and talk about him being a good husband? You think Shirley's going to talk about him being a good leader of a household when they had to fucking move every couple of years and everything is going into some sort of a eviction, and there were things that she may or may not have known about when she needed to know about them? Maybe she eventually found out about them, but he was using and manipulating her information. They could sit up there and try to finesse Shirley all they want, but I think that they probably want to avoid getting Shirley on a roll, because I'm sure Shirley could probably say some things, and she would be, I'm not going to say she'd be a hostile witness. I think she's going to do what she's supposed to do if she's called. Just because the defense calls you as a witness doesn't mean that you are in their pocket. He could depose Shirley on some very specific things. She could answer the questions, and even though it's not something super duper in his favor, they could say, well, yeah, we still want her to give some testimony about this, that, and the third, right? When the prosecutors then have an opportunity to cross-examine her on what they decide to bring in, Will Wooten could be like, okay, well, now, Miss Shirley, tell us about the time that he got arrested the first time. How did he notify you? What happened? What did you know about the first? You mentioned on a jail call that this was the third time your husband had been arrested since you two have been together. Tell us about what you know about the first time he was arrested. What did he tell you? How many lawyers have you had to pay for your husband? Do you know about these cases? And the reason why it would be interesting to ask that is because some of those cases from within their marriage are some of the cases that are showing up in the RICO. Those are some of the counts of his RICO. And she can testify to what she knows or heard or paid for during that time period when these first cases came about. She can testify about her comment section where she had on a jail call said she had to turn off her comments because people were telling her left and right about this man she was getting ready to marry, and they might want to ask her in hindsight, what you had your comment section was blowing up with information about this man you were going to marry, and you had, what did you come to know about those comments that were in your comment section? They were all true. I didn't want to believe them, but they were all true. The things that people said 10 years ago. You know what I mean? I'm not giving you the exact line of questioning, but that could come up. Shirley is not offering no help. Calling her would be, baby, she might be the Cassie Ventura she's the Cassie Ventura. If you're following the case right now, Diddy, Shirley's Cassie, okay? Don't get all caught up in the freak offs, obviously, but this is what this RICO is centered around. Okay? He was with Shirley as, in the bigamous relationship, the full duration of the life of this RICO. And then everybody else is going to be Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 2, Melanie and Gail and Olivia and all of the motorcycle, Regina and Brianna and all of these people. Okay. Even the sexual assault victim. I'm surprised, but like when we're thinking about Diddy, how Diddy, that particular case involved multiple things. Well, the sexual assault could have been thrown in there too, but keep in mind that the sexual assault victim is still a victim. She's a victim too in the RICO because someone in her family was driving that vehicle that never fully completed the transaction from the teacher. And a family member got like a grant. I don't know if she got auto theft or driving in a stolen car, whatever it was. There's crossover with those two cases. So girl, this is a whole mess. Sonya gives the worst advice. Back to the point. Sonya gives the absolute worst advice. Joey, did you want to come up? Whenever Joey comes out to say hi, it's like, hey, Joey. Joey, did you want to come talk to Bougie Gang? Joey, are you going to be in the courthouse on Monday? A reasonable facsimile of you? Will you be around? I haven't seen one Rule 22 filed. That doesn't mean that I just haven't seen anything. I don't know if anyone's going to be in the court or not with a camera or recording. We have to hope and we had somebody who calls us and lets us know everything that happened. Y'all are funny. Jajamin, says Joey works there. I hope you like jamming too. Joey, everyone's saying hi. Everybody's at the Diddy trial. Well, or busy, probably. Okay. We're going to keep it short and sweet. And then I'm going to let y'all go. There was another NESTO call, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow night or something. Uh-huh. Yeah. She's the star witness. I think. I'm willing to entertain other theories because just because I say it doesn't mean I'm right. Okay. You guys know that. I'll entertain whoever you think, or whatever you think. Don't think just because, you know what I mean? Can the Atlanta natives please take a PTOJ and go to court? I think Sonya will be called also. She's always looking for a show. I do think it's possible she could end up because she's had so much advice. Did I hear Joey is in the building? Yes. Joey, I dropped the link. Come on, Atlanta. There's someone from our audience who's going to be in court. She's just not with, a Rule 22, but she's going to call. She's going to take good notes for us. She says she had her pad and her pen, and I gave her the information. Well, the information I know that's public information, that it's 9:30 on Monday. Judge Dunaway. Yes. The fact that they added, which, not just the fact that they added the sexual assault, but I mean, this whole freedom's coming soon, and then the smackdown of you just got grape charges, this is not giving. They're trying to let you go anytime soon. It's not giving. It's not giving what you think is giving, Ernie. Aw, look at that. Very sweet. Look, some bougie gang love to bougie gang. Very nice. He sure did, and she didn't even try to entertain her comment section. JMM. What did JMM say? Well, Nesto showed her he was not done with the streets, and her money gave him more fuel for his illegal shenanigans. Absolutely. And just the fact, which we already knew what was going to happen. So if you have phone calls from prison's membership, then you would have heard this call. But what we already knew was that, and Vicky's saying thank you, hun, to our good sis who shouted out Vicky's channel. What was I gonna say? Speaking of Diddy trial, why? He does work with like TMZ and others, like for photojournalism, and he's in there taking notes and watching the trial. But he does do the outside arrivals and stuff like that, and he works with some he works as a reporter. Hi Joey, what's going on? Hey Joey.
Okay. Hello, Francoise. Can you hear me?
Hey Joey, how are you? Happy Saturday evening.
Hello, gang. How are y'all?
So what's going on? I know when you pop out, usually you might have a word for us. Do you have a word for us on this evening? Joey, can you hear me?
I have no word this time.
Really?
No, not until I can hear you. We have to wait. I'm getting a double feed.
Are you still in the app? If you're in your phone, can you swipe up your app and swipe up your YouTube app, close the app.
Hold on a second. Is that better?
It should be better for you. It was fine for me.
Okay. Now.
Okay, it's better now. Yeah, it's going to give you like double because it's still like running in the background. Okay, well, let me ask you this. First of all, I noticed on the docket on the 3rd that there was a attorney conflict. And I know that doesn't necessarily mean anything serious, but I was thinking that maybe it's one of the prosecutors because I didn't see a copy of that on the second case where Ernell Winfrey is the DA. And I also didn't see a copy of it to make me think that it was Sean Hoover because both cases are being heard at the same time. So I felt like maybe it's one of the prosecutors, Will Wooten, potentially, because it was only attached to the RICO case, and for the reasons that I mentioned before. I'm thinking, but then that would mean that maybe the docket's going to be called later, or maybe they want to be called first because they have some other engagement. What's your take on a conflict? Oh, I lost Joey. Joey. Okay, maybe Joey's having some technical difficulties. That's my question. Dang, that raggedy ponytail scared me. When Fran moved the comment, why is silly Sonya gonna pull up in the RV at the courthouse? I mean, doesn't she have still a regular car? Dang, that right. Okay. Joey, I don't see your avatar. Hold on. Let me put a cover. Oh, and then he dropped again. Okay. Well, wait. Joey's trying to connect you guys. Shirley is not coming to play. I don't think Shirley is going to have anything nice to say. I don't think that this was a successful marriage at all. I think that, like she said on the Steve Harvey show, she said that this marriage was one of the biggest regrets of her life. And she probably in hindsight sees that there were some serious red flags and ignored them, which doesn't, don't most people say that in hindsight? Sometimes people want to romanticize bad relationships, like, oh, it was this, it was that, it was Paris, it was New York, it was all of the things, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, sometimes you have to just realize it was dysfunctional, it was toxic, it was emotionally abusive, it was a fucking shit show, and I'm glad it's over, right? Hello? Hey, Joey.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm technologically challenged here, so
It's
please bear
okay. It
with me.
happens to everybody.
So what you got for me?
What do you think about the, we've seen some, this is like a minor docket housekeeping item. There was something posted about a conflict. A conflict is typically, there's maybe they're needed in two courts at the same time, right? Or there's some issue with the date, potentially.
Correct.
They may have somewhere else to be.
Right. It could be a couple of things. It could be, I mean, conflict means just that. It could be it could be running late. There's something else going on.
Can
Somebody
you
may
call
not
me
show.
first? Can you call me
Right.
last?
Can you call me last? Right. So
Mhm.
I think the latter, what you just said, is more or less what you're looking at. There's a potential conflict, or maybe call us early.
Yeah.
Because we have to be out. We have a hard time. We got to meet somewhere down the line. So
It's just like making an official request with the court, like, I have a need,
right,
or there's an
so
issue, and
we will see. But again, my hopes are not very high. I think it'll be another administrative day. But
you think
you
on
never know.
both cases it'll be another administrative day because both cases are being called allegedly. This segment's going to be called allegedly. It's on both dockets, but are we going to have an arraignment? It says that there's going to be a plea and arraignment on the SA cases, allegedly.
Right. And
on the docket.
a plea is just that.
Right.
So, and in the past, he has not shown up for these kind of pleas. So, because he didn't want he didn't want to be associated with it. So,
but they can waive the reading of the charges, can't they?
Yes, they can. If he's not there, there's no reason to read them. But
if he's there, they will read them.
Yeah. Obviously, you want to. I mean, you're there. You want to know what you're being charged with and why. So.
But we hear that a lot when the attorneys will say, "When we waive the reading of the charges,"
Right.
and then maybe they'll just kind of high level breeze through them rather than
Correct, because the accused has already been briefed on all that. He already knows all that.
right.
His lawyer should have told him what you shouldn't walk into court not knowing. Mr. Williams does a very good job of communicating that he never knows what's happening.
Can you
And
believe
I
that? It's so annoying.
I that's a little disingenuous because he does know what's happening.
And he
Or
even admitted once before when the lawyer did waive his reading of the charges, he said, "Oh yeah, we waived that." But then I've also heard him say, and I never even went to well the right you I saw the documentation where they waived the reading of the charges, and then he was saying he never was privy to the arraignment, but then your lawyer waived it and they would have had to have told you.
correct.
He
So
lies all the time. He is such a liar.
yeah, he does have a problem with the truth a
Yeah.
lot of times. So yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
So you don't so nothing. I mean, this is the longest, well, it's not the longest trial in history, but my God.
Again, my theory on this, and this is just me theory, just me being crazy, but the way Fulton County operates, and because they've been such a shit show in the past couple of months, I
Mm,
honestly think that they have been saving this case as kind of a Hail Mary case. It's got all
mm.
the it's got all the things that are going to draw the eyes to it. It's got
It's got the
sex,
elements.
right? It's got sex, it's got celebrity, it's got, it's an interesting story, it's tasty, and I think they've been saving this, which is why they've been holding it, because the other trials, the YSL, um, the Trump, I mean, everything has been just horrible. It's been a mess. So, and this looks like to them probably uh, a case that they can actually get. So I think they've been saving this case for this. And trust me, it's gonna be a celebrity case. The problem is, in order for it to be a big case, you have to make Mr. Williams out to be the devil himself,
Mm.
which which he hasn't helped, which he's assisted in that. And I think that's the way this is going. So uh, things are moving, but I just don't have high hopes for Monday. I think Monday's going to be another administrative day, and then another month we'll have another date where we can get everything going. In my opinion, but we'll
Mm.
see.
I'm trying to find this. Yeah, I think that so someone, let me see if I can find this. I'm gonna keep look. Is this it right here? Uh, I don't know if you've seen this or not. Let me see. It's not the full clip. I'm gonna still try to find it real quick. They caught Fonnie Willis outside and they were asking her some questions. It was specifically about YSL. However, she went in. And I thought it was pretty interesting. Did you see that?
I did. I
What
did
did
see
you
it.
what did you think about that? Let me see if I can find it. The
I
full
thought it.
clip.
I thought it was a. I thought it was really unprofessional. I thought that
Of who? The
of her,
reporter or for
of
Miss
her,
Willis?
of Miss Willis. I don't have a lot of. I'm not a huge fan of Miss Willis. So, and the reporter asked a logical, I mean, a reasonable question, which is, we've spent a lot of money on these cases, a lot of stuff's going on, but we haven't really got anything out of it. So, which is why I
Talk
think
to us
this is.
about it. Yeah, he was asking for some, can you
Yeah.
give us what do you say to basically what is your comment to the taxpayers? Let me play it real quick for everybody so they can hear what we're talking about. Because they asked her specifically about using RICO. So I thought that was interesting. Let's listen to it real quick. He basically, but he kind of got her in a gotcha situation. Um, I'm not saying like it wasn't like a total gotcha, but he caught her in the middle of some sort of press conference photo op. Something was going on, and he just came and was like, "I'll take that. No, I'll keep it. Hon. Thank you."
Respectfully, Ms. Willis, I asked you about the two murder convictions that never came through.
After months of trying to talk to Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis about the case, our Chase Howell finally got her answer to the questions at the top of many people's minds.
Hey, Ms. Willis, can I grab you for a quick interview to talk about the YSL case coming to a wrap up really quick?
It's not wrapped up.
It's about to be, though.
So he says, "Can I talk to you about the YSL case wrap up?" And she says it's not wrapped up. Okay, that's number one. So she's already like, okay, she's like, it's not wrapped up.
Could we maybe talk about, you relied heavily on getting those murder convictions in the YSL case, but no one was convicted in this. What's your message to taxpayers?
So he says no one was convicted. Now, I don't think anyone was convicted of murder, but there were convictions, right? What do you say to that, Joey?
I say that whole trial was based on the murders. That's what it was about.
Okay.
That's what it was about. Someone died in that process. Someone died out there, and we want to you want to get justice for that person that died, and you didn't get that. And that whole case, that whole trial was an absolute circus. And for whatever reason,
they just could not prove the murders, because there was a certain point where they had video of somebody getting shot, and they had Shannon Stillwell with a gun, and then all of a sudden everybody was pleading out. What happened?
It appears to be it wasn't a very strong case. And in my opinion, part of a public official's, if you're elected to an office, part of the job when you do this is to manage expectations of the public. So if you don't have a strong case, or your case is weak, then you need to kind of prep the public for that. But a lot of a huge or an inordinate amount of resource, funding, time was spent on that case to kind of walk away with a lot of some small plea deals, probation, and again, somebody is not around that was around, and you turn up a big goose egg on that. So and if you didn't have a strong case, in my opinion, you prep the public for that, and you don't double down and come across as being sanctimonious in something like that.
All right, let's listen to the rest of her comment, because some people didn't see this. They really caught her, like you could tell she was in the middle of something. This reporter was like, "Ooh, let me get my question in." So let's hear what he said. And he introduced himself. He gave her the opportunity to say no comment, or I'm not answering questions right now, but she went ahead and took the question. So this is what happened.
I need to talk about the YSL case coming to a wrap up really quick.
It's not wrapped up.
And he's coming to a wrap up, and she said it's not wrapped up. That's basically what he said, but she immediately was like, "Oh God, it's not wrapped up."
About to be, though. Could we maybe talk about, you relied heavily on getting those murder convictions in the YSL case, but no one was convicted in this. What's your message to taxpayers who may say that this was a waste of taxpayer money and their time?
What I want to say to you as a reporter, and I want your other reporters to be responsible, is you keep going to defense attorneys who put their children in private schools, in communities that are not our communities, and really don't care about the African American community. What you need to understand is there were 19 convictions. 7 I decided to null pros, mostly because they were doing life sentences on murder. Just yesterday, an affiliate covered a YSL murder of a 21-year-old mother in front of her 2-year-old child. And go look at the statistics, crime is down. So what taxpayers that I say, what my constituents say who just voted me by 68% is she's doing an amazing job. Stop glorifying violence and stop making it that some victims don't matter, because victims of all races, of all socioeconomic status matter. So stop talking to attorneys that don't live in Fulton at all. They live in safe neighborhoods. Their children go to safe schools.
Respectfully, Ms. Willis, I asked you about the two murder convictions that never came through. What's your message to taxpayers and to the taxpayers that may have...
My message to taxpayers is it was an amazing time. We had 19 convictions. The community is safer. We made sure that we got the resolutions we want. If they're unhappy with sentencing, they should elect other judges.
And you...
Okay, let me stop right there real quick. I thought that was an excellent point. They brought the case. They ended up going for plea deal. Like, there's only but so much that's in her power. That they started entertaining plea deals. So, but that the plea deals come from her office, right, Joey? Don't the
That's
plea
correct.
deals come
They do.
so the sentencing, okay, I get it, but again, I guess back to his question, she never really answered the questions, because
See,
you
that's
put it off on the judge and
right.
say it
That's
was sentencing, but it was sentencing based on the plea deals that came from your office. So I get what he's asking. Is there a tone of people being upset because YSL was so expensive and there wasn't? I'm not in Atlanta, obviously. So are people pissed that there were no murder convictions?
I'm sure there are people that are upset about that. There was a lot of resources are spent, and sometimes a little humility goes a long way, and just being to me this deflective, it's not, don't blame me, blame someone else. When we win, it's all me. When we lose, it's the judges. You can't have it both ways. Which one is it? So, I mean, just again, I would say a little humility, prep the electorate, and tell people what you're trying to do before you do it, and manage the expectations.
All right, let's finish this because he's going to ask her about the RICO, and I thought was interesting because this is going to come up with NESTO.
You also relied heavily on the RICO law that you had
And
too.
I'm going to continue to rely on it because
And she says she's going to continue. This is Fonnie. Everyone can get it. Willis. He said you relied on the RICO, and she says she's going to continue. Okay.
it works, it's effective, and it tells jurors the full message.
But other people may say with the other people that it wasn't
people weren't
effective.
elective as a DA.
And then she walked away. I'm sorry. I'm here for it. I love that I like her overall demeanor, because he did come for her. Now, is he doing his job? Absolutely. I don't begrudge him that at all. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? She's like, don't come for me. She gave him a don't come for me.
We will agree to disagree. I don't think he came for her. I think he asked an honest question.
No, he didn't come for her like he's going to take her down.
Right.
But he came to do his job. He asked a question, and she gave him exactly like, okay, this is Zinger. Maybe I've been avoiding this topic. Don't come for me. I'm in the middle of a photo op right now, and you're asking me questions I don't want to answer.
Well, again, we will agree. We will agree to do it the way my ears hear that. That's not good. Some people would hear that and think, she's being sassy and, she really told him off. But in my ears, I don't hear that. I hear someone who's kind of caught in the headlights, and now you're just kind of deflecting, trying to get away.
Yeah, no, she was not happy. She wasn't happy about the question. Clearly,
and you have to know at this point in time, you have to know that this question is going to be asked. So at this point in time, you should have a letter perfect answer for this. It may not be what we all agree with, but it should be a well thought out answer for that question, because you have to know at this time that that's going to be asked. And it sounded like she was not prepared for that question at all.
So here's someone saying Integrity Matters says that her win is that she got them off her streets and legally prevented them prevented them from Atlanta gathering anymore. So yeah, some people are like banned from the city. Some people are already doing life sentences. Did she get the murder convictions? No. So maybe it is a technicality that, but she, like she said, crime stats are down. Maybe it was the delivery of her message versus like, oh, thanks for asking this question. She didn't give it to him the way that he would have wanted. And I think he caught her off guard, and I don't know that she likes to be caught off guard per se. I don't know. I just think it's interesting. And when he asked her about the RICO, and she says she's going to continue to rely on the RICO, which obviously we see that's going to happen with NESTO. I guess we're going to see if he's going to be able to deliver again. If that DA's office is going to be able to deliver a conviction to NESTO, because this case is just dragging. Do you have any concern that you think that they're going to be able to convict him, or
I
do you
think
think it's going to be another shit show?
I think it will be a show. Unfortunately for Mr. Williams, is he spent a considerable amount of time in jail already. So there's a lot of, so they've gotten their pound of flesh out of him. I mean, going into it.
Right.
So if we are, I hate to say this, but if we are lucky, it will be a trial, so we get to watch it and hear all the salacious details. But I just, yeah, it's, but in his case, they've had plenty of time to prepare. Will Wooten is in charge of this. Mr. Williams doesn't have the cast of Looney Tunes characters that are going to parade in and out of the courtroom that the YSL case had.
Do you think, okay, I'm sorry. I just, it's not going to have like 500 witnesses. It's not. It might have 100 witnesses though.
I don't know if it'll have that many, but it will have.
Did you see the laundry list? Did you see the first list of witnesses? Even though they have to put everybody and their mother on there was literally like 100.
I don't think they'll call those people. I think I don't think those people are going to get called. I think that witness list was more or less a list
informational,
and to put them off limits. Kind of puts them in a penalty box. You can't necessarily talk to them. They're off limits. So in the event you're trying to talk to someone.
Okay, because it kind of puts them on hold reserve.
Correct.
Don't witness tamper with my folk. Okay, correct. I got you. Thank you for that.
Right.
Okay, that's interesting.
So I think that's what you see with that. I think that the financial crimes are one thing, and the assaults are something else. So. And I think Wooten's a different lawyer, and I think and Mr. Williams is not necessary. And again, with what's going on with the Diddy trials and stuff, and Mr. Williams is not really a sympathetic character.
Not at all.
So he has an uphill battle that I can see. So this may, and again, hopefully, for my to have it be a trial, would be interesting. To see that happen and have those witnesses come forward, the witnesses that do come forward, talk. Like Shirley, I am always going to be, I'm always going to be
the star witness.
I am always going to be, Shirley knew that he was doing this, or at least portions of it.
But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, she's going to be a victim. So let me ask you. So now let's run it parallel to Diddy right now, even though it's not the same thing. It's a RICO. It's one person sitting, even though there are co-conspirators in both situations. We have Erica King, who's already convicted, and we have unnamed co-conspirators over on the Diddy side. What about when we're thinking about the relationship aspect, like Melanie and Gail and Regina and Olivia and these women that he had dealings with? do you think that because of Diddy, has that kind of opened the door now for people to ask about the intimate relationships? And did he promise you anything? Was he schmoozing you? Would he, you know what I mean? Like, I almost feel like the Diddy trial has opened the door to ask more about the relationship aspect. If there is a relationship scam in all of this, like, were you just someone who got bamboozled through a business deal, or was it bamboozled through the bedroom by way of your purse? Like,
I
how
think
did this go down? What do you
I,
think?
I think you're right. I believe that because of the Diddy trial, we are more we are more inclined to believe that the that he is some kind of magical sexual Svengali that just makes you give up all your money.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our public wants to hear. People want to hear those
Right.
details. We just do.
Well, it's going to
So
help in the understanding. Like, did you just
correct.
write a check, or was he over there promising you things? Did he tell you he really wasn't married? When he said they understand what type of woman I'm married to. So, what was that? Because according to Shirley, they were in a marriage and they were good. And he was, she didn't know, it could be according to Shirley, she didn't know all that because they could sit Shirley down and she could say, well, we had a very traditional marriage and blah, blah, blah. And as far as I knew, he was on business trips. I was on business trips, but I had no idea he was having extramarital affairs. Then you could go to Gail or Melody, or let's say someone we know for sure had sex with him, the teacher, and the massages and the sexual relationship and him going over to her house at 4 o'clock in the morning and all of those things. Um, she might say, well, he said that he had a public marriage, but he told me I was his girlfriend. He promised me things. I was engaging in loaning him money, and he was supposed to be paying me back. Like,
Right, but wouldn't you want to hear that from her? See, that would answer
absolutely, she's
that would
gonna have to
answer
do that. Yeah,
right.
she's gonna have to do that.
That
Yes.
would answer so many questions, because then you would know the inner, because this man to me is several slices short of a loaf. I don't understand how he was able to do the things that he was able to do. So I still maintain that he has been swindling people that have been sort of swindling things themselves. So that's how he's been able to do it. Um, but I want to hear other people talk about how they, what his approach was, how they found themselves in these situations, and how money became part of although the incident reports kind of explain that, but I'm still curious,
They're
and the
gonna have to
script
fill in some more blanks
from blanks, right?
because the way Cassie Ventura talked about them freak offs and everybody else has gave all this information, people are now expecting to hear the details. They want to hear the details. And it's possible if he finessed them through sexual relationships, because we know what he had in that tool bag. If he was finessing them through sexual relationships, it is quite possible that he was frauding them because he was promising them other things and he was having sexual relationships with them. They thought they were going to the green waters. They thought they were in relationships. So they're conducting business with him based on that. But it was not real.
And I agree with you. And I think that but again, get on the stand and stand on it. Say that. It's
Well,
man,
I'm sure that's probably what Will Wooten is getting ready to serve up because
put him on the stand.
right
Tell me
now,
that.
this relationship scam, type of thing, because that's what they're doing with Diddy. They're relying on the fact of these relationships, and that's how some of these people were taken advantage of these situations. I think that it's going to be, they're going to have to bring the details for it to make sense. And I just, I'm sure these people have to be ready to talk.
That's true. But again, I'm just looking forward to it. And again, I want to see, and hopefully Shirley gets to do testify. I mean, but maybe not, but I'd love to ask. I would love to get her on the stand. There's several questions I'd like to ask her.
Do you
What
think they
basic?
get by with her not testifying when some of the major acts are, I mean, the bigamy, the false swearing, the documents, that aspect, even though that's not major, like 10 years or this, that, and the third, it does lay the foundation of him being a relationship scammer because he wasn't just in that marriage, he also was in previous marriages. And then even in those marriages, he had like a host of other women. So it's
Yes.
not just about cheating, it's him being in multiple marriages, contracts, the benefits that come from a marriage relationship on top of these relationships that he had with other women and bamboozling them as if maybe he was in relationships with them too.
Well, he was, and like Sonya had said, he was on some dating apps as well. So I mean, he was certainly putting in the work. But if you talk to him for 10 minutes, I just don't understand how anybody falls for
Well,
anything that he has to sell.
You're a man and you're not interested in men, and Nesto is not, he's not a scholar nor a poet.
Or a
But
pauper,
clearly,
or a plumber, or a pawn, or a king. He's none of those.
okay, he's none of that. He's none of that. But
None of that.
there's some
No.
look, you can't tell Sonya he's not that dude. Even though Sonya is not worth a hill of beans either, but they're in your, you know, in your like you're a guy. So we don't expect, like, you're totally not seeing it because he's just not, he's not even what you would picture to be qualified to finesse these women. But there is a there's some thirst out here, and there are some women out here that feel Nesto is fine.
Oh,
Shirley
okay.
was swooning. I mean, unless they put on a masterful show in Steve Harvey's studio that day, she was screaming.
Here's my
And
issue
on
with
top, go ahead.
again, 3 arrests, 5 evictions. So whatever happened in the very early days of their marriage, I mean, once you get into it, now you kind of know who he is. He's already revealed himself to be what he is.
Do you
So
do you think Shirley's going to say I was scared of him? Because
she could.
three marriages,
She
5
could.
evictions. She might have some stories to tell us about how he roughed her up. I'm telling, this Diddy trial is the playbook.
She
She
could.
might be, yeah. They
And
might
we
get
are
Sheridan on there and say, I was afraid for my mother. I thought he was going to kill her. I didn't know
right.
if he was going to try and cash in an insurance policy. We
Correct.
were scared.
And pre Diddy, we may not be willing to believe that. But see, now people may be willing to, a jury may be willing to believe that.
Okay.
So that's what's changed. The whole environment has changed now. So he's swimming in different waters
Mm-hmm.
than he was 3 years ago. So I don't
Someone
know.
is asking if Nesto, at his big age of 60 ball, can be rehabilitated, or will he remain a scammer?
Uh, uh, I think he will be a scammer. The issue is, will he be able to scam?
Mm.
A leopard with no teeth is still he's going to try to gum you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm.
that's what he
Okay.
does.
Right.
But he can't bite you anymore. So I don't know.
Mm.
I
Wow.
mean, that's
Um. Yes. Someone is saying Soul Power said Diddy has created a whole new dispensation, the post Diddy era. Yeah, because Cassie came on there and talked about things that women take to the grave. Um, things that she participated in and said, there was things that she was coerced. We're not going to even get into the whole thing. And there were some things that she opted into, right? And some of these things most women would never talk about, even with their best girlfriend. She sat and laid it put it on the record, things that she did. So people are going to have to come with it now, because not to
Correct.
say it's not believable, but if it's something that has to do with a relationship, they're going to ask you questions about your sex life.
Correct, because we've been desensitized. So you can't come in
Period.
and
It's
just
open now.
Yeah, you just can't come in and just say something happened and I want to talk about. You're going to have to kind of give us these really
The
these
details. We want the deets.
So yeah, that's where we are.
Wow. Anything else, guys? Nesto had to play with his script that he used. He even said, Sonya, he listens very well. Nesto needs to stop. So Kendall said Nesto had attended lots of multi-level marketing presentations. Do you think he was over there with Coach Stormy and Helen De La Jose and all of the top-notch people from the tea company and from Body Magic? If he was sitting over there listening to the top-notch millionaires of Atlanta talk, why did he not make it? Come on now. He doesn't have to be any of those things. However, loneliness and a shortage of men in this world, there are women that are thirsty enough for attention is deep. Yes, Nesto. Yeah, Nesto didn't have to be, Nesto just had to be alive and have male working parts. And he had a suit and some nice Italian shoes, and he had a fresh haircut, and that was enough. I hate to say it, I'm not throwing my fellow sisters under the bus, but for some people, that's it.
Mm.
Lungs.
I have
work.
a higher opinion than for the ladies.
There
out there. I
are
think
some women out here.
They lead a little bit more than that.
There are some women out here that just need a heartbeat, a nice pair of jeans, and a ball cap. I'm come on now. Have you not ever watched Divorce Court or some of these foolish shows like Jerry Springer?
Sure, and that's why they're on
People
Jerry
having
Springer
babies with
and
men
Divorce
that they
Court.
don't even know their last name.
That's why
Like,
it's on Jerry
I'm
Springer.
sorry to say it, but and there's men out here who are doing the exact same foolishness. So it's not just us, but we need to be willing to accept that that does exist. There are people out here who do not make good decisions. They make a bad decision time after time after time. Look at Sonya. Sonya is a living example of one bad decision after another, as well as her boo thing. Even in purchasing an RV, she doesn't even know how to operate the equipment that she purchased, rented, leased, whatever her situation is with that home on wheels. She doesn't know how to use it, and she's breaking it. And she takes Nesto's calls and puts money on his books.
Yeah, that's she got the prize. You know, she is Nesto, Mr. Williams at this point. I'm gonna give you a literary reference now.
Yes, please.
Mr. Williams is now the Marlin from the book Old Man in the Sea. When you finally get him into the shore, there's really nothing left because it's been eaten by the sharks. So he is that's what she has. She's not his side chick anymore. They are an item.
I love you very much. A mess. Wow. You dropped the mic on that one. I don't even have anything else. I don't even know what else. Does anyone else have any questions for Joey? Joey said he was going to be up for 5 minutes. Girl, someone said he's a return to sender, but he's not for you. He's for Sonya. He's for her. They said, come on, Joey. There are everyday women and many successful women who just want a piece of a man. Well, and men too. Because
I have to take your word for it. I don't know.
Men too. Look at Lil Wayne recently. His girlfriend was standing on the streets with her daughter, who sat up there and moved into his house, and she had the nerve to go live on Instagram trying to complain to us that he just put her out on Mother's Day. And it's like, sis, how are you dating Lil Wayne and you don't have your own condo, your own house? Why are you on the streets going live trying to tell us like we care? Sis, nobody cares. But she wanted a thing who happened to be a guy who has a name and has some money, and she thought she was doing something, and she got put out just like anybody else and thought she was going to go live and make a big commotion about it. And nobody cared. And then wants to talk about, does anyone know any good lawyers? It's like, are you kidding me? Now you could say, well, that's Lil Wayne. That's not just the average guy, but we don't know what like any kind of, we don't know what his conversation is about. We don't know what his relationship goals are. But this lady had her whole life wrapped around being over at this guy's house and is on the streets that his people just put her out with nothing. So there's people out here who do not make good decisions. And it can be a NESTO, it could be a Lil Wayne.
Well, let that be a lesson to the folks out here in the world. I mean, so
stop running for, you know, an aesthetic.
The bright, shiny object. So that's part of it. So, yeah. But
anyway, let me ask
they're an
you,
item.
Are you going to be
The
in
two of them are
court
together.
on Monday? Are you
I don't
going to
know.
be a reasonable facsimile potentially?
I may send someone there. I may send somebody by.
Okay. Can if you happen to be in the know of the proceedings, will you give us a holler and let us know what happened? Okay.
Absolutely.
Do we need to send a bat signal, or will you be somewhere in the bushes where when I go live, we'll know sooner than later what happened?
When will you go live?
It's at 9. Allegedly he's at 9:30, but that's kind of like the AM session, right?
Right. It won't be until sometime after that, after it's over.
We'll be live by lunchtime.
Yeah.
We'll be live at lunchtime.
I don't think that they will get to, I doubt they may get to him by lunch. I think that's going to be a long day.
Well, shoot me an email.
You know,
shoot me an email. Let me know like what it's looking like, what it's looking like, if you happen to have intel on that. And then whenever it's time, you can just let me know and I'll be live.
You know, if it's there. So maybe in the afternoon, after everything's over and done.
Okay. Well, it's just flexible. Guess what? My kid's on summer break. So guess what? I don't have to, it's, you know, I've got flexibility now for especially like in the afternoon when I used to have to be on the pickup line or something. So it's flexible. So just let me know. Bougie Gang is going to want to know. Okay.
I'm sure between, I think doesn't Pam, and Pam usually shows up at these things.
I don't know what Pam's schedule is. If Pam's there, then of course we will have an update from the awesome and the wonderful
she does an
law
excellent
intellect.
Job
but you know what I mean? I don't know what the schedule is. And considering what happened last time, I don't even know. I haven't seen any Rule 22s docketed. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't,
that's a very good point.
I can't make plans on anyone else's time. I don't know. All I know is when I log on, what's going on, or who told me they're going to be in a certain place. I don't have any information on that.
That's a very good point.
Yes.
After I kind of forgot about that happened last time. But there'll be several bloggers. They usually show up. But yeah, we'll see them. We'll see what happens Monday. But either way, we will discuss it. We will talk about it at some point.
Okay. Awesome. You said Vicky to the Veil says the judge is hating. Okay, Joey, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the weekend, the beautiful weather that's in our region. It was fabulous here today. Was it nice down there in Georgia?
It's kind of hot.
I'm still here for summer. I'm here for it. Well, you enjoy your weekend, and we will talk to you hopefully Monday. When you've got some information for us. Okay. All right. You take care. All right. Take care, Joey. Thank you. Have a good night. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, guys. Hold on a second. That was our friend Joey. What time is it, girl? Well, we're going a little long. Does anyone have any other questions? Does anybody want to call in real quick? Um, if you have any questions, if we start to get a line, then let's keep it like at 2 minutes. Get your question out. Let's talk about it real quick, and then let someone else get a question out. Or I'm gonna just end this thing tomorrow. I don't know what my schedule is gonna be for tomorrow. Yes, Joey is gone. Thank you, Joey, for coming through and talking to us. Um, Interesting, right? You guys, this was fun. We didn't even do half of what we said. Well, we did half of what we said we were. We took a couple of lefts and rights, but that's okay because that's what we do, right? The other call from July, it's more of the same. We'll get back into that call. We have like a few Nesto calls. If you are just now coming in, if you're just now coming in, make sure to run it back to the beginning because we had a key and there's just a lot there. So just make sure that you go back and it was a key. Okay. We do have a caller. Just a second. Let me put up my thing. Hi, Vicky.
Hi, I have a quick question. What do you think about like the recent Sonya trying to get Nesto to throw Shirley under the bus?
I think she's a bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, we know that, but but I'm just saying, like, do you? Because I'm the recent text messages are. She's like, he's not there yet. He's not at that point yet where he's like ready. I mean, he of course he's talked his mess about Shirley, but it's been cute enough at least for in his sake. But she's really trying to get him to. She's trying to like I don't know because just because Shirley says I don't have anything to do with that truck, I didn't give him permission to get that truck. I didn't know anything about it, and that's her truth. At least at this point, that's what she's sworn to, and that's what she's gonna say. I'm assuming if she's called to testify, which she
I
probably will
think
be.
I think she or whomever is taking a very literal kind of she didn't know anything about it when it was purchased. He could have very well used her credit, came in the
Right.
house and said, I bought the truck and it's in your name. Oh, okay, dear, that's fine. Like and thinking because it is some sort of emotional abuse when she's thinking about the list of things that he did to her during the
Mm-hmm.
marriage, she
Right.
may have been like, and he purchased this car without me even knowing. When he came home, he told me. And I mean, maybe she might say, I felt like there was nothing I can do. I mean, like we were saying before, because of the Diddy trial, people are going to hear this with a whole new set of ears, people who are paying attention to the trial and the emotional abuse, the financial abuse, the fact
Mm-hmm.
that she was 60 years old when they got married. He's 60 now, but she's 70. And this carried on for almost 10 years. He put her in a worse financial situation than she was when she met him.
Yeah.
And they may really park on some of this financial abuse so whether she knew about anything or not, Sonya can convince him to try to throw Shirley under the bus. Shirley is on the victim list. Shirley, like, there's nothing, and whatever she may have known or turned a blind eye to, she's got immunity, obviously. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know from what we've learned about Sonya, she's willing to like say and do anything just to like, just to have her, to for on behalf of this man. It's just very interesting that she is on this trip now of, well, you need to tell about your ex. Your ex is saying that, the ex is saying this and the ex is saying that about the truck. And I wouldn't be surprised and I wouldn't put it past her if she's going to calling his um public defender and saying, you need to say this because she knew about it. She knew about it because of this. And it could really, I'm not saying that he deserves any sympathy or empathy, but it's just it's rather interesting that that she's going this route, and he's still not there yet to where he's ready to try to throw
So
Shirley under the
this
bus.
is what they do. Look, and obviously I'm not a lawyer. Number one, let me say hi to Monique Love 504. Anyone who just came in. Hey guys. One Jennifer. Yes, we did talk about Kelly Marie Bryant at the beginning. Not in depth though. We're gonna get into her tomorrow. We went over to her Facebook to see if she updated her Facebook since she's been out of jail. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. We kind of been mostly focused on Nestoverse. But yes, thank you for asking about that, Jen. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Um, I don't think it matters either, Jennifer, from a so which to your point, Vicky, he can try. So look at it this way. Nesto's not going to have an ability to talk anytime soon. Only time he's going to get to talk is if he goes on the stand. If he wants his lawyer to try to drag Shirley, good luck, because Shirley is considered a victim. The prosecution is going to have all the time in the world to question and get her testimony. And then he's going to have to go and be very careful what he says, because as his ex-wife giving testimony on him, they can try to impeach her all he wants. But if they open the door to some interesting fun facts about her creepy ex-husband, he's going to probably regret trying to drag someone who has 10 years of intel about the who, what, where, whens, and whys. You know what I'm saying? I think she knows whatever she knows, and he wants to try to drag out. He might regret that. Trying to make her, I mean, I don't know that that's a winning strategy, trying to make her look guilty to make him look less guilty. I don't know that that's a winning strategy.
It's not. It's just interesting that's the it. I would imagine that I don't know if he's to the point where he's done listening to her and she's just there for comfort. She's just a comfort girl at this point, and she's putting money on the books, and he can watch a movie here and there. Or if he's done listening to her legal advice. But it's gonna be very curious to see what sort of defense he can actually bring up, if he's gonna bring up a defense at all. Because I've been saying he should just plead guilty and see, shoot his shot with whatever they can give him. Like, just go to the judge and say, I'm old. Try to give me something. Or, I mean, I don't know what he can do at this point, because they really do have him. They have him kind of lock, stock, and barrel. Like, they have him done. They have enough evidence. They don't need the truck. It just is what it is. So that's all. I just wanted to get your
What do you
I
mean
get
about
your
the truck that they got rid of the what do you
no, I
mean?
mean, because I know that they dropped the CP charge. So it kind of, I'm just wondering if they're gonna, because they're hearing motions too as well
Well, they
on Monday.
know prostate for right now. Keep in mind, they got the RICO that's pretty much ready to go, right? They
Mm-hmm.
just indicted him on the sexual assault charges. That those pictures, whether the pictures are gonna, so put it this way, you've got one case that's ready to go, you got another case that just got indicted, and then you have the CP charges that were just sitting for a whole year with no activity. um Maybe just from a case management standpoint, you've got a case that's been open for at least 2 years, one
Mm-hmm.
year with no activity. It just needs to be closed. Like, if
Yeah.
you're not going to prosecute it, no process, and then they'll bring it back. If we know anything about what seems to be their pattern, is that maybe a year from now, when the RICO's gone, let's just say, I don't know for sure, but I'm looking into my fake crystal ball. A year from now, the RICO's gone. He's still sitting in Cobb County, because guess what? The SA has not gone to court yet. And then guess what? He just gets indicted on the CP. I mean, that's just how it's been going. They can bring that
Yeah.
back at any time. They could
That
bring
is.
that back 3 months from now. It doesn't mean they're not. Fonnie was very specific in that letter and said, we reserve the right to bring that back.
Yeah,
And they very
I
well
recall
might.
that. Yeah, that's crazy. That I mean, it's just interesting how they're doing this. Like I said, if I were kind of in his shoes, and I know they had me, and I know that my co-defendant has already, she's already told, and she's gotten the best deal that there's gonna get. Just go to prison. I mean, you might as well start doing your time now and just be done with it. And like you talk about, I mean, I think he's going crazy. You know, on these recent text messages, he's talking about hellhounds and roaches, and like he's losing his mind in there. So why
I
not
mean,
just go?
it's possible. I would not be surprised if someone not just, I mean, 60 is not old by any means, right? He's not in wonderful health. He's
Mm-mm.
not eating well. We all know, I mean, if you're over 40, you start feeling like, you know what, I want to eat some broccoli today. I
Right.
need some spinach. Like, it's just something that happens when you get to be a certain age, and it kind of kicks in somewhere in your 40s, that you want to start eating a little bit better if you're not already a healthy eater. And this guy says he's eating bread and water. Like, his nutrition is
Girl,
horrible. And that could kick in things like dementia.
I
He
wouldn't be
may
surprised.
even be mentally challenged at this point. I mean, he's dealing with someone who is really conditioning his brain into a lot of negativity. He's talking a lot about spirituality, which there's nothing wrong with that, but his
It's the way
nutrition
he's
is
talking about
bad.
it.
His
It's the
nutrition is bad. I feel like sometimes he sounds um not like he's ready to take his life into his own hands, but I
I.
feel like he is reconciling his last days, if you will.
You know what, Fran?
Well,
I
we're not,
have.
we know 60 is not, we're talking about Nesto's 60. So don't take anyone who's 60, don't take it that way. What I'm saying is Nesto's 60 is not your 60. This man
Right.
is eating carbs and water. He's not eating a healthy rye. He's not eating a sourdough. He's eating prison bread, allegedly, and no protein, no vegetables, and water.
And he's not even smart enough to go try to tell them like he needs a kosher diet and pretend like he's of a certain religion where he needs a kosher diet where they
Mhm.
actually give you vegetables in the jail. He has not got, his nutrition is poor, and it's not that I'm worried about him, but when I read those text messages now, and I look at and I hear him talking, I do think that I am thinking that he needs to be on the watch because whether he's reconciling with with
I think he's
himself.
reconciling his fate. I really do. He does sound like, well, when I go, and we heard him in this other call I wanted to talk about today when he talked about, will take my ashes. This is not the first time he's talked about his ash. Like, you can
Yeah,
take my ashes and you can do this and that. But what Nesto needs to understand, number one, Sonya's not your next of kin. First of all, one of those wives
Edith
is going to pick
is.
it up. Edith is the next of kin or one of his kids.
They don't want him.
Well,
Them
they're
kids.
the ones who the jail's going to call, though.
Yeah, they don't want him though.
They're
I
gonna
mean,
call
just
actual next of kin. And but yeah, I maybe he wants pity. Nobody's pitying him.
he's not doing
I'm
nothing.
sorry, I feel absolutely nothing. I don't feel nothing about what, I mean, I hear that he sounds like he's kind of like just ready to go to sleep one day and not wake up. And I mean, that's not
Yeah,
a good situation, but my thing is, you put yourself in that jail, you put yourself there, and you
he
put
put
yourself every time you want to sit there and run back and forth with Sonya about this fantasy fiction tale of how you ended up there. It's weird.
He put himself in jail. He kept committing crimes after he got in jail. He was still trying to run the play on Shirley after he was in jail. So I don't feel bad for him, but that's why I say just plead guilty. Just go to prison where you can actually get some real food and
Well, but
just
he's not even being offered. So look at it
no,
this way.
no, just
No,
plead.
like, just plead, just say I'm guilty, right?
Just
Save everybody's time and just go for a non-negotiated plea. Just
yep,
basically, there's no negotiation on the table, and just take what Judge Dunaway gives you.
yep. I would just
Expedite the
do it.
process. Yeah,
Yeah,
because he still has this new indictment.
yep.
So It's
I would
not,
do
you
it.
know what, but it's not over for him. Cause look, let's just say in Vicky's world, he goes in, Judge Dunaway, I want to plead guilty. Are you of sound mind? Did anyone coerce you? Did anyone ask you? Were you threatened by any? No, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. Right? Okay. Okay. Well, you're going back to Cobb County because you still got this SA charge. You know what I'm saying? Like he's painted himself into a corner, and it's too bad for him because he still has this other indictment that he's going to have to deal with. He
I
could
forgot
plead
about that.
guilty tomorrow. He could
Damn.
plead guilty tomorrow, and guess what? You're still going back to Cobb County because you got another indictment, and Fonnie can come back and pull those CP charges out the bushes.
Wow. Yeah,
And he
that's
still has the hold in Henry County, which I don't know. Henry County could go away since they're arguing it in the RICO. So if he pleads guilty to that, fine. But he still has this indictment. So yeah, he's not going anywhere.
girl, that's a shame. Yeah, he really has. I mean, because I would just rather plead guilty. Just let me go to prison where the conditions are better. I can have better commissary. I can actually learn something. Maybe I can actually see a doctor about my so-called poor health, which he probably is in poor health, and just be done with it. But I know he doesn't want those colorful charges on him, those horrific charges on him as going into prison. So
Mm.
that's it. But thank you. I know
Okay,
it's late
Vicky.
over there. Have a good one.
All right, you take care, hun. Have a good evening. Okay. So doesn't he have so keep in mind the Henry County charge is in the RICO. Let's make sure. So the Henry County charge, didn't they put that in the RICO? The situation with Henry County? I think, let me see. I haven't looked at that RICO in a long time. Let me see. NESTO. Is this it? Let me see. I think they put that in, let's see, 24. Is this it? Yes. Okay, hold on. All right, let me do. Okay, so the Henry County, hold on a second, guys. Let me show you. The Henry County is Act 5. It's in the RICO. So if he gets convicted, let's say he pled guilty tomorrow of the RICO, it's Henry County's in there. On or about October 13th, 2018, Ernest Williams committed a felony offense of theft by taking in violation with OCGA 1682 in Henry County by unlawfully taking the Big Tex 20 PH trailer, the property of Big Tex Trailer World, the value of at least $5,000 but less than $25,000 with the intent of depriving said owner of said property. This was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to OCGA 1614-3. And then the next one is Act 16. Can y'all see this? Let me rise it up a little bit. Act 16. So these are the Henry County holds. On or about October 13th, 2018, Ernest Williams committed a felony of deposit account fraud in violation of OCGA 16920 in Henry County, Georgia by making, drawing, delivering a check of 888, an instrument for payment of money on Wells Fargo Bank and located within the state of Georgia, Big Tex trailer for the amount of $9,589.03 for the present consideration of Big Tex 20 PH trailer, knowing that said check would not be honored by the drawee. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of Georgia and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year and an act of racketeering activity. So if he is found guilty, pleads guilty to this RICO, that goes away, because it doesn't go away, but the RICO, it's wrapped up in the RICO. Okay. So as soon as the RICO is settled, the Henry County hold will be settled. But he still has a whole nother case, which is the sexual assault case. This was a fun night. You said, Louisiana bougie gang, be safe. These ICE raids and protests are getting out of hand. Stay home. Stay home. Have friends over. Get your Blackstones out. Pretend like you're at the hibachi spot. There's a lady I follow on Facebook. I'll have to give you her name and recommendation. She makes so much fun stuff on her Blackstone. It's ridiculous. Like, it makes you think, like, she makes all kinds of fun stuff. Okay. Stay home, make drinks. It's summer. Order a hot tub. If you live in an apartment complex, go get in the pool, have some fun, bring a bottle of wine down to the pool. Cook a meal in the back of your Cadillac. Stop it. You guys are so funny. If you don't know what we're talking about, scroll back. This was a fun episode. If you are just coming in, you missed a lot. Even if you came in the last 45 minutes, you missed a lot. Just go back to the beginning. It was like a damn variety show tonight. We will talk about Pontiac Mom tomorrow. We're going to get all up on her face. We're going to go cruise her social media and everything, and then watch the funny video of her getting out of jail. This is what I want to know, Jennifer. We'll talk about this tomorrow. Why would they get her? Now, she may have had a 10% surety bond, but I thought that the judge was very specific. Judge Walker, I thought Judge Walker said a 10%. I thought Judge Walker said a $50K cash bond. I'm hearing from the streets that it was a 10% surety. So 10% surety, I guess, is about, 5,000 plus fees, right? So I can see her getting out. If someone put up $50,000 for her, why would you put up $50,000 and no lawyer? Because she still got Miss Kieran Gongo, that annoying lady with the accent. So whatever. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm going to do some reading tonight and get myself caught up on what I need to know. I did go to the Michigan website and order her bail sheet so I could find out for myself, because I don't know. And I haven't read enough articles yet to understand how this thing got paid for, because I thought it was $50K cash. Yeah, so did I. Because remember, Miss Kieran Gongo asked at not the last hearing, but the hearing when she lost her phone privileges, saying that it was still basically no bond. It was a high bond and she's not going to be able to get out. Who put up, and someone in the chat said her pimp. I don't know if that's the case or not. Far be it for me. I don't know. But baby, that's what I don't know if they went ahead and gave her a reduction, and not a reduction, but maybe offered that up since she'd been in there 100 days. Because yeah, there's a big difference between someone having to put up $50K cash or $50K worth of property versus a 10% surety bond, which still $5,000 to get her negligent behind out of jail after she left those kids by themselves. I don't care if that was my sister or my cousin. I'll come visit you and I'll put some money on your books, but I'm not getting you out after the way you did those kids. I just wouldn't do it. That would be one of those where, yeah, I'd have to agree, I'm not doing anything. You're going to have to stay and thug it out because look how you did them kids. Okay, Baba lady, we hear you. Okay. Okay. You guys are too funny. Yes, the Sade trial was heavy. It was very heavy, but you guys are amazing. Okay, guys, we'll do this again tomorrow. I have pickleball tomorrow morning, so I will see you guys after pickleball. I'll see you guys in the early part of the afternoon. Okay. Girl, after I put some ice on my knees. I mean, my sister, I would. My flesh and blood sister, I would, but I'm not getting you out. I wouldn't be able to justify it. There's no way. Especially like my niece and my nieces and nephew. No, hell no. Make sure you have money to call and you know what I mean? Like whatever. You know what I mean? I just the way she did those kids, she shouldn't be out. Those kids are messed up. We don't know what was going on. And whatever these kids, there's no amount of fixing right now. These kids are going to have to live with that scar for the rest of their lives, how they were abandoned in that way. It's awful. It's like they were on a deserted island. Well, they had to. They had, by law, they had to give her a bond. She didn't kill anybody. Um, but she's facing a life sentence. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't know who would pay money to get her out. Like, for what? It's not like she's going to run to a job. It's not like she's got kids to take care of. Where is she going to live? Who's going to take care of her? I know Bible Lady's going to say, I'm saying it again. Yeah. Antoine. Okay. Girl, she's going to go on the run with Antoine from New Orleans. Antoine Massey and Antoine Massey, we got a girlfriend for you, Kelly Marie Bryant. It's this avatar that is killing me. Okay? You guys are too funny. And she can't take care of the kids, she can't see the kids, she can't call the kids, and she can't see her parents or call her parents because that's who's keeping the kids. So she can't send message, like she's on restrictions. And if Judge Walker or Miss Pharisee, Miss Pharisee is not playing. Go to the Kelly Marie Bryant playlist and I've got most of the hearings. If I don't have all the hearings, I have most of the hearings that we've seen. Miss Pharisee is not playing with her. Miss Pharisee is the one who was the one who bought the charges for her contacting. They were listening to her jail calls. They have all the time in the world for her. They were sitting there listening to her jail calls and they heard her contact the location where the kids are located and they brought her right into court. Wow. Something to match every outfit. It's like a homeless encampment in front of the Diddy trial right now. Did you guys see this? It's awful. And then you've got people who sleep in tents on the street lining up for the following day. But then it's like you see all the YouTubers that we know, unless they're paying people to sit in place for them, I don't know if that's what they're doing or not, but what is the purpose of the people sleeping in tents when it just seems like some people are just getting on the bus and the train and just walking right up to the door? Like it doesn't make any sense why you would sleep outside. And then there's other people who are just like they were just waiting online at 7:30. It is a homeless encampment out there. All right, you guys. Look, we just turned 3 hours. Look at us, girl. Okay, let me say two things. Number one, you guys are amazing, period. And that's everybody. I love you guys. This was so much fun. What a nice evening we spent. Wait. Wait, there we go. What a nice evening we spent. And thank you to all of the people who dropped some coins. Thank you to the people. Thank you. This was so much fun. You guys did amazing on the likes. I so appreciate that very much. And that's it. That's all. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Thank you to everybody. And this was fun. I feel like we're caught up. We'll get further caught up. Tomorrow. There's so many things to talk about. So I think that was everything. You guys wanted to make sure I knew about Kelly, and I did. It was so much to talk about, and I had so much going on this week. We just had to kind of knock one thing down after another. So we'll get caught up on more stuff. I have a whole list of stuff that happened this week that we did not get to talk about. So, okay. Yes, I pulled that up too. If you go to the beginning, KK, I've got this pulled up. Hold on, do I have it? Oh, I already stopped sharing my screen. I pulled up the mistrial request. Hold on. I got that. So should I put we'll talk about that first. We talked about this briefly. We did not get into the whole thing because I have the document pulled up. This one, I have the mistrial request that was filed today on the docket and the reasons why. So if you guys want to get into that first, maybe I can before pickleball. It'll be early. I'm not going to lie. Moreover, simple Google search confirms that Mr. Combs was on East Coast performing reunion ignites it. So they put a link here. I wonder what the link is for. Anyway, I guess we'll get into reading it tomorrow morning. Before pickleball, we'll do this as a standalone. And then you guys, but yeah, so this is the mistrial document. Where did you go after you left Cassie's apartment? I went to my apartment. What did you do? So I guess this is on some false testimony, some perjured testimony, I guess, or they are refuting some testimony, and I guess we'll get into that in the morning. Y'all, I don't have the energy tonight. You said it's disgusting, getting out of hand. You talking about outside of the Diddy trial? It's awful. And all of the shenanigans. I'm telling you, let me tell you, some of the best people I've ever met. I've met through YouTube. I've met some really nice people, and I've also came across some absolute nightmares. So there's so much going on out there. I cannot imagine. I'm glad I'm at home. Too much, like what we saw this week was like, what? From Armand, having that lady run after him on his birthday, cussing him out on his live stream, or trying to get at him or trying to provoke him. That was weird. Just all of the shenanigans, the passerbys, not even the bloggers, but just passerbys, people who are hanging out in front, people who have bones to pick, just weird, just a lot. So I just, girl, it was a lot. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. Have a wonderful evening. I will see you guys tomorrow. So if you want to talk Diddy, we'll talk Diddy in the morning. And then I'll come back and then we'll do the other happenings and goings on. Okay. Because the Diddy thing could be something by itself. Okay. Girl, I don't think she has a tent. She gets on the bus, I think. But she hangs out with the girl. It's a mess. I can't wait. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. It just reminds me so much of like life-size ping pong. Like if you liked ping pong, it just reminds me of ping pong. And small scale tennis, but it definitely, if you like ping pong, you'll love pickleball. Pickleball is fun. That lady from the streets, the lady who got kicked out, is a nut job. We'll look at some of her videos tomorrow, the nut job lady. Okay. You guys have a good night. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Okay. Oh, I may as well play this.
Okay then. Okay then.
What's that mean? In 2 weeks I get some?
I don't know nothing about that. I mean, I'm on record line, so I don't know what you're saying. Sorry.
But me, I just dogged out all the way around. Nasty Nesto. I'm telling folks, man, I ain't did nothing with these folks, man. Hold on, no.
What's your name, Nesto? What's your name, Nesto? You know what? You know what?
What?
It's funny that you said that. You just brought back some memories. So when you said that, when I told you, I think on a couple phone calls back, remember I told you, I said, you know what they call you out here? Yeah, you said what? And I said, they call you Nasty Nestos, right? However I said it. So yeah. They don't took my voice.
I can speak to that. As to 23 CP 215407 at our last hearing, the state did move to null process or to decline that particular case. We will just revive that case in an indictment.
What's your name, Nesto?
They call me Nasty Nesto.
What's your name, Nesto?
They call me Nasty Nesto. I ain't do.
You know what?